don't get their hands on it?
No way.
Not Sauter. I think it's the other hero. I mean, most teams are looking at, like, when last time these two teams met, it was they would ban Viper plus Timber, except when OG had first pick, then they'd ban the Razor, I think it was. So, because LGD will first pick the Razor. So those are like the three, you know, OG heroes that always get contested for first pick. And so a lot of it kind of depends on the pick order there. The other hero I think may be worth consideration banning is the Io, because Seb's hero pool is full. Let's be real.
I mean, Io's such a weird hero because every region has like different thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Like I think it was Snaking saying that he thinks Io is like first pick, first ban in a semi-recent interview. Meanwhile, you have Southeast Asia who's like, this hero is dead to us. I don't think China plays it all either. I think it's pretty unpicked in China.
Correct.
Yeah. So like they have very different thoughts on how good this hero is, and if LGD think, oh well, this hero is not that good,
Yeah,
we
maybe
don't
they
care,
want
then
them to
they'll
play.
go ahead, play it.
Yeah. But it's funny because Amar is like what. Like, to me, the biggest comparison is what Bulldog was 2013. It was like, he's got these 3 or 4 heroes, and the thing is, you can't ban them all. So whatever but everybody, when you play against him, they ban his heroes because he's got that kind of small hero pool. The reason it's small is because he's so good on those heroes. So you kind of got it, like, targeting him makes the most sense, and then you prepare for the hero you know he's going to pick.
Okay.
So
what hero would you try and, I guess, corn him into picking? What's one of those heroes that you would feel comfortable coming up against?
I think the one that seems most unanimous is don't give him the Timber. At least the way I think Liquid's the team that's had the most success against OG, and they typically give away the Viper, is what I've seen.
Do they? I thought they banned the Viper and the Timber.
Okay, maybe they're giving away the rate. A lot of it goes back to like who was the first pick.
Not sure. Yeah. It could be. Those two definitely I see get banned a lot though. It's just like he's just very good at them. I mean, the problem is, like, we looked at the hero pools, right? When you have players that play so much, it's very hard to ban against them. And I know, like, Tundra have this thing as well where they're pretty prideful of their hero pool. They'll say, like, as well, it's so nice when you have an off-laner like 33, like Amar, who take a lot of attention in the draft because it opens up the mid and the carry to be able to play whatever they want because, you know, they don't get banned out. And this is really strong point of drafting. I mean, your off-laner he's just an off-laner. He's not...
All right, quickly, while the timer is going down for LGD, I knew they weren't going to get Raze out. We knew that was probably going to be first phase banned. Surprisingly, they banned it themselves, obviously, because of that first pick, whatnot. What are they going to pick up here? I took too long to ask my question.
Oh, they're going to pick up Tusk and Nature's Prophet.
Wow, you guys are so good.
I think their go-to combo was usually Tiny Nature's Prophet. They ran that multiple times. They love that dual lane, and Tusk is just like the tiny replacement here. Like that's going to be their 4 and 3 position. I think it's one thing LGD do less than other teams is flex heroes. Like almost always, it's Faith Beyond playing this Nature's Prophet. It is technically a flex hero, but most likely that's just not how they're going to run it.
Yeah, Nature's is picked up quite often against these kind of ranged annoying heroes, like the Razor and the Viper. We see Nature's a lot as a response. It just seems to do very well, like controlling them with Sprout and keeping at range, and they typically struggle to deal with a lot of like the summons and stuff. Like this Nature's Prophet, he gets a 15-minute shard, and it's so hard for like most heroes in general to deal with them because they are so powerful. Their health pool is so massive, they do a lot of damage. You just send them down a lane, and that's just something they have to deal with.
You said you didn't really want to see the Bristle. You thought it was a bit of a snooze hero, but it is going to come out. How do you like OG's opening of Viper Bristle compared to the Tusk Nature's Prophet?
It's very OG. The first pick Viper is just like they're going to do that, and I think Bristle that itself is picked up because of the Nature's Prophet. Like they know this Nature's Prophet is going to be an issue that has to be addressed, and if they don't pick Bristle here, it gets banned. So in some ways they pick up 2 cores, although they do occasionally put the Viper on a support role. So I don't mind it. I think overall PSG LGD, like to me, their draft just covers more bases from their opening. Like Bristle Viper doesn't sound like a good opening by itself, but when you look at the Nature's Prophet on the other side, it's something like, okay, you see what happened.
Where would you like this Viper to go, or do you like the fact that it could still potentially be flexed into a support?
I probably like to see it offlane. I just think it's good there. There was a lot of criticism, I think, around the Riyadh finals when Spirit was picking Viper twice in the finals, and it was like, oh, like what, like Viper, Collapse isn't making plays, like you want him to like solo carry the game. But to be honest, like if you watch those games, he destroyed LGD early. Like I think this matchup goes 2 ways. I think Viper's very good as an offlaner, and he will put a lot of pressure onto Arme, but the other side of it is Arme is a god. He is so good. Arme, like I watched collapse, kill Arme's lone druid like twice. He killed his bear twice as well. He was so rich, and yet Arme by like 15-20 minutes, he was like second in net worth, super recovered. It was like he had never lost his lane at all. The man is a god. It's very, very hard to pressure him.
I know it's very specific to that game, but what enabled Arme to kind of come back like that?
I remember his team making moves, right? And then he gets like he needs the triangle space.
Yeah. Nothing to say, I think, is a great space to create. Like, he's like one of these mid players that doesn't get hyped up because he doesn't like solo carry games. It's usually like he's more setting up Arme for success, whereas I think a lot of other teams have mid laners that get to do flashy stuff. But he played, I think, Tango both those games. He was just banned here, but like he's just this big kind of team fighting playmaker who loves to basically set up Arme for success.
Well, we have some more picks coming out here. It's Earthshaker Coddle OG.
Shaker.
So that's the Seth Shaker, right? That's what he played in one of their previous games yesterday, I think, and I was like, why is he rushing an Octarine core?
This is kind of cool. I like these second phase bans where like they start off like, okay, they're going to target Amar, and then they get to the second phase and like, okay, Seb doesn't have his hero. We know he's the other player who has a smallish hero pool. We're going to target him. Like Io Wind Ranger bans. Let's just get rid of these heroes and force him. Like Shaker's a weak hero. There's a reason no one's playing Shaker. This hero does nothing in the lane. It's a big liability. Like your lanes are going to feel really weak when you've got a Shaker on your team.
I think I'm very not pleased with OG's draft in terms of like greed. I look at these heroes, like Viper is not a mobile hero. He doesn't get a blink and make plays. He's not fast at getting around the map. He does want to kind of stay in an area if he can. Bristle is going to want to take the triangle area. He wants stacks. He wants the jungle. He wants to farm his Ags, and that's his timing to go. Coddle, he likes to sit in a lane and push waves. Shaker, he wants to sit in a lane and farm his blink dagger. I know in the last game that Seb played Earthshaker, he didn't go blink dagger at all, so he might just be playing a very like sacrificial Shaker that doesn't do that.
Do you think you can play Earthshaker that way? Is there an impact late game of Earthshaker being like that?
Potentially.
Okay.
This is something that we should want to see played out
no
a bit
one else
more.
It's hard to say, like, can you play Shaker that way? Like, no one's playing Shaker right now. And I think there's obviously a reason for it. Like, it's not like some hero I think that's, like, underrated or, like, it's a bit forgotten, but the hero, like, there's just way better options to be, like, the Enigma type heroes that just do more and have a better laning stage, more impact. There's items they can go for, like the Wraith Pack, that you're not going to... Shaker, you still, I think, just have to go blink typically, or... I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, I guess we're going to see it play out, but we haven't really touched on LGD's side. Winter Wyvern and Jug here. Jug being that last pick on the second phase.
Jug's a weird hero. He's like this combination of physical and magical damage, because if you get the Maelstrom, the Shard and stuff, your spin is doing like quite a lot. You do a lot of AoE damage by like Omni Slashing and having all those procs go off, which is very nice. He obviously provides healing. Like between that and the Wyvern, they might be able to go group up and push some objectives. If this Earthshaker is super poor, he's not going to have Blink and they won't be able to contest it. You want a way to sustain yourself when taking objectives, because Coddle's going to be like spamming you out. Viper's going to be trying to spam you out. Right now, OG have very good tower defense.
Okay. What do you feel is going to be missing then on the side of LGD? Or even OG? Either or. I guess LGD is last pick, so we'll start with OG.
When they're looking for a mid laner, they need something that doesn't get too hard counted. To me, they need more playmaking. Like, right now, the Shakers, they're only stun, they're only catch, and yeah, it's good, but it's probably going to be Seb playing. He's not going to get a whole lot of farms, so having that mid laner, I mean, Puck's being banned out. These kind of, you know, the typical Spirit-type heroes can work. Batrider is banned, so...
Yeah, Ember's still in the pool, though.
Yeah, I think something with some kind of playmaking potential, because you've got these side lane cores. I assume Viper and Bristle, at least right now, they look like the cores. Heroes that are just going to farm and sit in their lanes. So.
All reliable Void Spirit. Am I right, guys? All reliable Void Spirit.
I have never heard you say that.
Is there anything he can't do? He can gank, he can kill, he has so much mobility. If there's anything missing in your draft, it's usually filled by Void Spirit.
There's one team who may pull it back out. The OG do play Storm Spirit too.
Oh god, that would be really scary. I mean, it'd be great with the Coddle.
Yeah, they played it yesterday. I don't think it was with Coddle, but like they're one of the few teams who still seem to believe in this hero. So
they did. They played it. It was Marcy, Io, Storm, Faceless Void, and Bloodseeker.
Okay.
Do you say Io?
Yes.
That's like the Coddle replacement. Anything that just like pumps mana into Storm was always like the pairing that people would put him with. So that fits an idea there. They do want like a way to jump the Wyvern and the Nature's Prophet. These backline heroes just cause problems for them. Like, I think Void Spirit with an Ags with the AoE Silence would work for that. I think what you're saying with Storm would work for that.
And there's no catch really for LGD's side, because I was about to say, it's almost like both teams right now, their drafts are kind of slightly lacking the same thing, if that's something they're going to really prioritize. So.
Well, it was actually a Night Stalker last ban. Are you expecting that one? What do you think the reason behind taking that hero out of the pool is?
It's just that backline jump. He's going to give so much vision with the ult.
Yeah.
And then they just see all their key targets. They know where they want to go in fights. It's disruptive and annoying.
It's on a mid here, but is flex potential for OG. They could send Coddle mid. There's Bristle, Viper. These heroes can go other lanes, but
the one spirit we didn't mention.
Gosh,
we
suck.
Weird.
I said it. I was like, Ember's still in the pool.
Oh,
all right,
sorry,
so you went Ember, I went Storm, 2 went Blue.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
We found
covered
the best
them all.
panelist. She's
Good
so
thing
good.
they didn't do Earth Spirit mid, you know?
Oh yeah, then we actually would have just been wrecked.
I mean, that's just an Ori thing. I don't know if that's coming out on OG.
Well, I was going to get you guys to try and predict the last one, but LGD Enchantress.
Wyvern mid, okay.
Okay, Wyvern mid.
Is it,
like it.
or it could be a core. Oh no, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Ench, last pick. How are we feeling about the round out of LGD's draft?
I just want to run
Strong
over this lane.
lanes. Last game.
I think this. I playing Viper into Ench lanes. Honestly, I think is miserable. Like it's like the dream 5 position against Viper, and I think this is looking really rough for Amar, particularly.
Okay.
Like I think Army just like has the dream game here.
I think Amar really needs to win his lane, and then BZM and Tiger need to link up with the Ember and Coddle, and they just need to make plays and kill people, because if they don't hold LGD's momentum, I think they'll just get run over.
Alrighty, well, it is our first series, game 1 of the day. We're going to jump into it with Lacoste and Gareth.
Thank you so much. Right, here we are, LGD with some serious laning power here, Lacoste. OG, do they have what it takes to get to their item timings?
Looking at this Viper pick, Coddle, Bristleback, Shaker, it's very greedy from OG. They will need time. There's going to be a lot of stacking. Looking at how they can invade jungle, maybe they can try to steal like big camp, but they can't kill the Ancient. So that means that Bristleback is going to be able to take the Ancient stacks. So maybe PSG LGD wants to go in, block it, so that there's not going to be any stacking. A bit weaker in the lane. I'm a little worried as well what Panel talked about. This Viper lane playing into Enchantress, playing into Juggernaut, so you have a lot of sustain. Both of them have a healing mechanic, and also you have ways to dispel things. So this lane might be a bit difficult. This is a first phase Viper, so that means that it's gonna get countered.
Time to get ourselves into the game as we start the day off here with LGD versus OG. And the power of the 3-letter names, right? We've got ATF, we've got SEB, we've got PSG, LGD.
All 3 letters.
Who else is there out there?
Who else is there? FBZ, BSJ, Zai. There's way too many.
Did you say BSJ?
Yeah, there's way too many good players with 3 letters, man. I wish I had it. And into the game we go.
It's not too late to rename, Lacoste.
No, I can't do it.
Just change your name to LCS or something. LST.
That sounds miserable, Gary. Smoke from PSG LGD. We have Tusk starting with the Boots of Speed on Jin Q. One of the better Tusk players out there. Him and Kret definitely 2 names that pop up every single time the hero is picked. They know how to utilize it. A little, I'd say, weak in the lane, because the hero does consume a lot of mana. You need constant clarities, mangoes running, but this also means that they're going to be pulling the wave. Their level 1 is really strong. With Blade Fury, you have nothing to say on Wyvern, Arctic Burn, and speaking of counters for Bristleback, in this game, there are many. You do have Tag Team. Once that's maxed out, you just don't feel the tankiness of the Bristleback, and also percentage-based damage from Arctic Burn. That's always going to be something that Bristle needs to care about.
Absolutely does. Yuragi going to wander himself up towards the top rune spot where Faith Bian is already there, taking the bounty rune under the nose of BZM's Ember Spirit. And Ember, a hero that we've talked about a lot over the past couple of months. I know the topic came up in Riyadh where he was like 1-5, 1-6, was doing very poorly. But at this event, I believe he's 3-1, and his KDA is one of the highest so far, at like 13.5. So looking like a hot pick potentially.
One of the heroes that teams always go for Ember Spirit whenever you feel like, oh, there's not enough lockdown, which they don't have. You don't care too much about rotation from the Tusk. Like Nature's Prophet, I want to see what the item build on Fate Beyond's going to be. I wouldn't mind seeing Orchid this time around to have some extra lockdown for Ember Spirit, because they are a bit limited in that department.
That'd be good, yeah. So when it's a good Ember game, you
it's
feel
a good
comfortable.
Ember game, yeah.
Well, so far, 4-1 for the Wyvern, 2-0 Ember Spirit. Nothing to say coming out on top early days. And here's what you were talking about, right? Jin Q not only dragging the creep wave, but also blocking camps.
Camp.
Yeah.
If he wanted to be even more efficient, he could have killed the courier. Maybe stacked 1 extra camp, I don't know.
So many things on this checklist to do.
Just kidding.
Down bottom, the Wise Enchantress getting fissured out. Arme already spending the spin. So far, it doesn't look too bad for this Viper Earthshaker. They've done a lot of damage to the Jug and the Enchantress.
They did pull the lane back with Fisher, so they had lane very close to their tower at the start, having extra armor, extra regeneration. It's a lot of pressure.
And spin, a pretty long cooldown level 1. We need Arme to get to level 3 to really feel super safe in this lane. But I guess once Y gets his levels as well, we'll have these creeps chasing down the Viper, causing some chaos. Looks like BZM more than recovering. Getting towards dead even with the Winter Wyvern. And he'll have his bottle being delivered by that courier very shortly. While Yuragi, trapped inside the ice shards of Jinkyu. Illuminate comes with his tag team doing some serious damage. They don't want to commit though.
Jinkyu had 5 Coil Spray charges, did not want to go. There's a good synergy in this lane because you have Nature's Call with tag team, so that's a lot of damage. Nothing to say. We'll refill the bottle on a mid lane, and so will BZM.
Get themselves refilled up. Yuragi has the refill from the Kotl. Tiger going to give him that Chakra Magic and a Tango. Give him that staying power in the lane. Jinkyu still just looking for an opening to go, but they've got this wave right in front of their tier 1, so that's free farm for the Prophet. While the Fisher down bottom does block Arme into an awkward position there, and he actually spins to get rid of those poison attacks, but it's something Seb has noticed. Now they know it's on cooldown, and it was still level 1.
And they have a lot of mana. There's 2 mangoes on Earthshaker and 2 on Viper. There is a healing salve as well, not gonna use it. There's gonna be healing from Enchantress if necessary, and also dropping down the healing ward.
So were you expecting this lane to go much better for LGD? Has OG managed to kind of settle the score here better than expected?
I mean, this is why they picked it. They picked Enchantress, but there is still a sentry, so the big camp is blocked. Enchantress not getting any good creeps. Usually you would want to get this mana burn guy, so you have Aura and also burning mana on Shaker and Viper is pretty good.
Yeah, that Viper super mana reliant. Loves to be spamming out the poison attacks.
Finally unblocks the big camp.
Gets it done. Fisher onto Arme.
He's out of mana. This might be the first blood.
He's only got 1 stick charge. The poison attack's going. That enchant though slowed the Viper down just enough. And now Arme and Y, a little bit of a turnaround as they spin back towards Seb. They won't be able to finish anybody off though. Nature's Attendants will now heal the Juggernaut up. They've got that double heal in the lane for the sustain. Incredible against heroes like Viper.
Jinkyu going for the Water Rune, stealing it away from BZM.
Yeah, so the double there for nothing to say, right? You got the bottom one. Jinkyu guards top. So no refill for the Ember. And we do see Kotl kind of wandering around in the jungle. They've got double Dire Wars
Seb
watching for the
ward.
stacks, but in comes Seb in the mid lane. BZM straight in towards nothing to say. The Illuminate clips him. And this Wyvern looking pretty dead. Pops the Fairy Fire, the bottle charge too. Faith Beyond going to come in, but it's not fast enough. Wyvern drops, BZM will have to lose his life in the exchange though. As Seb and Tiger look to split and run, but Shaker caught inside the ice shards. Down you go for a 2-for-1.
I'd say that's a good trade for PSG LGD. They're getting some extra levels on both Tusk and Nature's Prophet. Wyvern did managed to drive them closer to them, so in the end, a good trade. I'm not sure if Wyvern will be aware of the observer ward that was placed on the mid lane on the high ground, so potentially they could try to go in and kill him one more time before level 6, because Ember will hit a little faster level 6 than Wyvern.
Yeah, halfway through 5. Looks like those Dire Wards have all gone now around that top jungle area. They had the double vision that has now dissipated. Now looking for anyone that was contesting stacks or roaming around as the Tusk does love to do. Jinkyu and Faith Bian though now with a pretty nice wave coming forward. Catapult held at the large camp. So next wave coming in, they could maybe think about the push. We'll see what Yuragi and Tiger do to stop that. The Bristlebank very good at clearing out these stacks on his lonesome.
Tiger making some big stacks near the outpost. He's going to stack 3 camps at the same time. That's efficiency. They also have an observer ward place, so they're going to see if someone's coming. They can block. One of the supports is probably going to block the entrance when Bristleback is going to be farming that.
Diving Amar, Faith Bian brings the +1. Bonus hero in here to get the kill on the Viper. Shaker Well, Y gets the tower aggro off himself, so now a push in from LGD onto this bottom tier 1 tower. And Earthshaker, not the best hero to really defend, especially once he's already spent his Fissure. This catapult's going to do some serious damage. I need BZM to arrive. Just with his body, he'll zone them out. Quick little sleight of fist there, and LGD respecting the fact that OG could bring numbers. Straight back up to top for Faith Beyond.
And I like the itemization on Fate Beyond this time around. I mentioned the Orchid, but he's going for a different route, something that's gonna give them even more answers to Bristleback. Like, you become tanky, you always have global presence, so you're gonna be in those kills, collecting Urn of Shadow charges, and later on Spirit Vessel as well. Yuragi.
He's got his
Vanguard
Vanguard
done. And even more stacks in the jungle. This is gonna be very juicy for Bristleback.
So we assume LGD know about this, right?
Yeah, most
pinging-
definitely. They're pinging it out.
Yeah, they've got that high ground ward, so they see the stacks. Jinkyu is there with his body, seeing everything too. Do they bring 5 heroes to contest this? Because we can only assume that OG will do that as well.
They were thinking about it.
They've definitely got the options, you know, Jug Spin, Splinter Blast. They've got ways of clearing it. There's nothing to say.
Splinter?
Is that a straight up
that's a
solo kill? Oh, what a sick move!
I guess BZM underestimated the damage
Well,
coming
I
out
did.
from Wyvern.
The Ember Illusion, you know, helping out as well. Hitting into the Ember Spirit himself. Well, nothing to say after that. That first death, making up for it. And it looks like LGD not really in position to contest the stacks as Yuragi takes them. Instead, playing into the dire triangle, finding Sep, clearing through the Earthshaker, but the trade-off here with Amar arriving will find the Tusk kill, and now BZM wants to get involved. Faith Beyond, Remnant to the
TP on
pond.
him.
Wyvern comes in from the left-hand side. Faith Beyond trying to throw out his ulti to kill off Amar. Sprouts the Viper, still alive, but the Flame Guard will burn him through. Tiger runs it back in a 2 for 2.
If Nature's Prophet had TP ready, he could have potentially got out, because there is not a single point in Searing Chains at the moment on Ember. A lot of stacks. Look at the net worth on that Bristleback, but nothing to say. He's keeping it close. This is going to be extremely good timing on Witchblade.
Yeah, we had like quadruple large and medium camp stacks there, and Bristleback barely 300 net worth ahead of the Wyvern. Does still have a couple of medium camps to clear through though, as it looks like Tiger just continually building these stacks up for his squad mates. And there's another one, the Warpine Raiders. LGD, 3 heroes down in their bottom jungle. They all farming together, holding hands. Arme gets the solo lane to get himself that experience he needs. Jinkyu with Y and nothing to say. I want to kill Amar again. It has been a tactic utilized by a lot of teams. Focus ATF. Remove him from the game.
Even Omni Slash.
Tilt the Viper out of the match. And Yuragi, well, he will come in to look for Jinkyu, but some good eye shots there. Now a Fissure blocking him between them. Traps the poor Tusk.
Yeah, this global presence, and yeah, Viper was off to a really good start in terms of CS. He had like 15-20 denies, completely dominated the Jug lane, and now Jug is ahead of him. This is why whenever we mention Vipers, we say, you know, win the lane, lose the game.
The age-old saying that. Is it Faith Beyond just going to pop trees out and try and kill this tower? He doesn't have his urn yet because his courier got killed previously with the urn on it. Yeah, he's looking for that tier 1 while mid lane being pressured by nothing to say. BZM and
Haste
ATF
available.
coming straight towards him. Oh, the heal from the Ench. Yeah, that's enough. Keeps him alive. Very, very speedy Wyvern. Dipping back and forth.
And while all this is happening, what you just said, Fate Beyond managing to kill the tier 1 tower on the bottom. Not usually the tower that falls, but still opens up the map, opens up the entrance to the enemy triangle.
Yeah, so far, a dead even game. OG, you're going to feel pretty good as OG, right? They're getting towards their item timings, and maybe here a chance on Arme, but he'll have spin in a second. Just kill the healing ward on the way out. Yeah, do you reckon OG are comfortable getting Bristleback super tanky? They've got Ember Spirit doing decently as well.
They are looking for that Aghanim Scepter timing, pretty similar to what teamliquid did to them yesterday in game number 1. Because like once you play against Bristleback a couple of games, you also know how to play against it and how to play with it. GNQ ready to go.
Straight on to Seb. Shaker, fissured, and sharded out. Hellbear smashes there. Give him a couple of punches from the Tusk. Does get off his wand. A little bit of healing to Seb, but
Not allowing him to use Echo Slam. Yesterday in game against Liquid, I don't think we saw a single Echo Slam from Seb. He also didn't go for a Blink Dagger. I guess that's why. If you don't plan to use Echo Slam, you don't even need a Blink Dagger. He went for Shard, wanted to get Octarine Core later on, but the game kind of ended before that.
Actually, he was playing the outskirts of the fight constantly, wasn't he? Just sitting in the shadows.
Yeah, the problem with the Blink, the problem with the Earthshaker is you need 2-3 minutes of free farming, and right now it becomes very difficult for you to get that.
Takes far too long. BZM down to half HP.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
On the run back, Ember Spirit's still scary when he's got his mana pool up. But he wants to continue farming towards the Maelstrom. And you do still have Seb here getting a bit of farm time. Gets given the mid lane. While Yuragi taking that bottom tier 1. And straight onto the Bristle. The mass TPs arriving from LGD.
That's a Spirit Vessel.
Yuragi, yeah, caught out here with a spin coming through from Arme. Yes, Yuragi will kill the Tusk. But with the Vessel on him, he should be dead here with a couple more touches. Oh,
Nothing
no,
wrong here.
The creeps come in. Faith Beyond does claim the kill in the end.
Play balanced. Perfectly balanced hero. Took 4 heroes to kill him, plus a Spirit Vessel. He manages to get a return kill and barely dies. If that was Aghanim Scepter, he kills all of them.
Yeah. He demolished them all. He was alone down there completely. And he got the tower as well, didn't he?
He got that tower, yeah.
Healing power.
Sam spotting the edge.
Under attack.
Yeah, kill that ghost. Finish it off. BZM and Tiger. Yeah, don't want to commit on a level 6 Enchantress. Would take far too long for very little reward.
Good positioning from Y, being able to break the smoke and keep Juggernaut alive. Now Juggernaut is recovering. He does have that Maelstrom, so gonna continue to farm up. Going for this new build on Jug, where you get full Mjolnir, you get the Shard as well, and then especially against the Bristleback, because there's going to be a lot of instances of damage. Same goes for Viper, even Ember Spirit Shield, so it's going to proc a lot.
I mean, we've seen another kind of shift in this build as well, with the Hand of Midas coming out on Jug a couple of times. You're not a fan?
I feel like every single time I see this Midas on Jug, it feels a little underwhelming, because this is also your farming tool. Sure, it gives you attack speed, it does give you like some extra XP,
yeah.
So the talents are pretty good when you go for Blade Fury Duration, Blade Fury DPS as well. You want to get to that like level 15, level 20. You get that earlier, but I still feel that's just my opinion. Probably I'm wrong, but I feel Maelstrom full Mjolnir is much better and much efficient.
Like 95% of the time, just get the Maelstrom instead. Mate, like you said, heading towards that Mjolnir. Plenty of free time for him to farm away and try and catch up to the Bristleback, who had all those stacks made for him. LGD right now, though, playing into dire vision. Tiger and BZM holding the high ground, but Kotl dead inside the shards. Now the Toxin's out there, though, and the poison attacks from ATF clears through the Tusk. Don't know if they can catch BZM. Looks like Yi being hounded by Yuragi. The big punches coming out of the Bristleback with his bonus damage, while Faith Bian finished off by BZM in the back. So 3 for 1 there. LGD, again, playing into dire vision with no vision of their own.
A little too deep there. Also, they were really spreaded, so no curse coming in. No clutch curse. Juggernaut also bottom. If they need extra damage, Juggernaut definitely needs to join, and we can see some damage numbers coming up from Viper, and also 1800 damage from Ember Spirit.
Another curse though, and another solo kill attempt. BZM, a couple of 100 HP away from death. One more stun, one more hero there, he would have been done for. And that's now curse on cooldown. There's still more time for OG here to hit these timings. The TP and the snowball in though. They want Seb real bad. Finish off the Earthshaker with a snap decision from LGD. Ice Shards also blocking Tiger away, but BZM of course has that remnant to safely slide up to the high ground.
OG still needs 500 gold to finish Aghanim Scepter and Bristleback, then they're gonna be ready to go. And also Keeper of the Light, level 7, about to hit level 8, Chakra Magic will be maxed out, then you can play with both Ember Spirit, replenish his abilities, and also Bristleback. So you're gonna have it all the time.
Look at this Viper go! Yeah, he's destroying them. You know, 1v2 basically. Jinkyu finally dies. The nature though bounces back across ATF. Kills off the Viper while Tiger trapped inside all the trios. But the Fisher and the find from Seb and BZM. Now, Faith Bian, any stuns to come, they just get the damage instead.
This observer board on the high ground revealing nothing to say. He didn't want to use bottle straight away, and they blow him up, and they're going to do the same thing to Enchantress.
The bristle damage! He's doing 400 damage a hit. It's only 17 minutes in.
That's Aghanim Scepter for you.
4 heroes gone. And Amar, the only real casualty of war there for OG.
Middle tower is under attack.
At what point do you start wondering, should Arme be joining these fights, or is it okay for him to be off in these side lanes farming to his
He's
first
waiting
item?
for Mjolnir. Needs 2 gold, literally 2 gold to be able to get it. And yeah, his next item seems to be SNY against Earthshaker, against Axe, heroes like that. You want him to break the combo. You want those stuns, disables to last less. Camp stack 12. Wow.
That's the 3K
That's
net
the
worth lead.
difference.
That's the 3K net worth lead OG has right there. Tiger setting it all up for them.
They also have double Force Staff on side of OG. By Force Staff, I mean full pike on Viper. So this Tusk, whenever he tries to go on someone or block it with the shards, it's gonna be very difficult. They can also push people out of the Sprout and yeah.
Or over a Fisher.
Yeah, or that. OG thinking about Roche next.
Yeah, we're grouping up around the pit. Faith Bian didn't have a treant there, so he sees a couple of them coming. Uragi not bothered at all. Stands his ground, batters away at Roshan, while LGD, if they want to contest this, they've got to start scrambling quickly. Arme still down bottom though, doesn't seem like he really wants to get involved. Just going to give this first Roshan to OG and to an overfarmed Bristleback as well.
They're well aware of it, but don't want to commit.
Has fallen to the dire.
Ame, gonna TP top.
Dire's bottom tower
Now it
is
comes
under
in.
attack.
Now ping in top. Looks like they want Seb again, but they actually move in towards
Oh,
ATM.
double Force Staff.
Gets him over the Roche pin away from the Omni Slash. Now the snowball back. Q will punch into Seb, trying to finish off the Earthshaker, but the Echo Slam, no, holds him out but still dies. Arme, found though, needs the curse to keep this Uragi Bristle at bay. BCM trying to chase, but running low in terms of mana, just has a sleight of fist and a few jumps left. Uragi's first life will be removed.
PSG LGD, they're very happy how this played out. Only gonna lose Jinkyu.
Yeah, taking ages away from Bristleback just for that one death. Perfectly fine for them, especially when you've got a Nature's Prophet. Look at how quickly he's down in the bottom lane.
Forcing a rotation. They have a little bit of a global presence there. And Vibrant also with Boots of Travel. They're waiting for their next set of items. They want the Vibrant to have Aghanim Scepter, Nature's Prophet to have BKB, and also Tusk to have a Blink Dagger. Because right now, every single time Jinkyu goes in, he's dead. With the Snowball, if he needs to commit, he's gonna die to overwhelming damage from Viper or Bristleback.
Good TP from Tiger. Yeah, it's nothing to stop him, isn't it? Now Faith Bian out of Vessel charges. It's a little bit sad, a bit spooky against the Bristleback as well. That's one of your primary tools to deal with him. So they'll need to get some kills in the vicinity of Faith Bian to get those charges
Radiant's
back up.
bottom tower is under attack.
And Almar attacks pretty quickly, hey? Throwing out these poisons.
Double Raid Band, full Pike.
With a Vamp Race as well, yeah. Tiger just doing his job as the Cottle, sitting in lanes, clearing out waves, delaying any kind of pressure that the Prophet is trying to mount in any of these side lanes.
About to buy shard, so he will be able to bring an extra person and punish whoever's trying to split push.
Oh, that's great, yeah. I mean, the ability to bring BZM around, remnants plus that recall, incredible mobility. Coming out of OG. Arme, what is he? Yeah, got his Yasha, so halfway into that Sanjin Yasha. Not too far behind the Bristleback overall in net worth. It doesn't feel like he's had the same amount of impact just yet. But maybe as we scale and move into late game, that will pick up.
They tried to kill the momentum with taking Aegis off Uragi. Uragi also adjusting his item build, going for Lotus Orb on himself to be able to... if there's a snowball, there's Omni Slash, good curse, removing both Arctic Burn and Witchblade. It's a really good pickup. I see a lot of Bristlebacks not wanting to buy it because they...
You want BKB?
Yeah, you want BKB, but if your team is not going to buy it, especially in a situation like this, you need to get it for yourself.
That makes a lot of sense. That's a great grab for him. Faith Beyond trying to find little pockets on the map where there's no OG vision and no heroes that can catch him. Spam out some treants, try and cut the waves. Delay, delay, delay. The tactics from LGD. Buy as much time as they possibly can. It looks like they are angling towards that top jungle though, as they can connect with Faith Beyond, play into that single observer ward they have out on the map. And there's the wave cutting to try and open things up for them as well. Curious to see what OG's reaction to this is. You know, if you see a Prophet wave cutting, then showing in the top lane properly. Are you going to bring heroes up here to kill him?
They want Seb, or if they can find Amar, but Amar might be a bit too difficult to kill with not enough lockdown, and they go on Seb. He doesn't have his Yule Scepter available yet. We'll try to go for the Fisher, but yeah, TP out. Oh, a bit of a grief there.
I holds Jinkyu in place. Now the Toxin and the damage from Viper stacks up. Yee slapped down from half HP. One swipe from Yuragi. Close to 500 damage per hit. Untouchable. Be damned, says the Bristleback.
Yeah, he probably stole like 1 or 2 CS from nothing to say.
Oh, and BZM with Tiger. Down bottom lane, finds Faith Beyond.
This is why Shard is so good, especially pre-BKB. I think he had BKB, yeah, on courier flying to him, but didn't get it on time.
And that felt like a pretty nicely executed kind of bait, you know, trap set by LGD. They cut the wave, they move up, they smoke, they set up and ready for it. OG, you know, seemingly falling for the bait with Seb a little bit, but reacting perfectly to catch LGD on the retreat.
Also, one thing to point out about atomization and Yuragi, usually you don't buy phase boots on Bristleback, you want to keep the brown boots, but since you're playing against Nature's Prophet and his Shard, that's the way to get out of the Sprout, because you cut down the tree, the big tree spawns, and then you get through with phase boots.
Ah, yeah, that's a clever adaptation. You can no longer just buy a Quelling or have Battle Fury late game. Remember the days of Sven's buying Battle Fury against Nature's Prophet. Now you've got these shards, things much more difficult. Like you mentioned, right, the double force staff always going to help you out as well.
Bounty.
Manta style coming up for the Viper next.
Dire using a scan. They know something is up. It was probably BZM because he wanted to refill his bottle. It's only Y who picked up the haste rune.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, BZM there in towards nothing to say. Aghanim Scepter coming up for the Winter Wyvern, and same story for the Ember Spirit, as they both got the Axe queued up. But is this a common build on the Viper, by the way? You know, the Wraithband Treads, Hurricane Pike, all makes a lot of sense. Going Manta into, I believe I saw Blink,
E-Blade.
E-Blade, yeah.
Amar thinks differently. It's great against the Wyvern because he can save people, close the gap. He can save people against the Juggernaut, ulti as well. So making game very annoying for PSG LGD. That's what he's doing, just being Amar.
Manta against Omni Slash, against Spirit Vessel as well. So it's not really like a Viper build, it's just him buying items for the game itself.
Exactly. BZM, they're trying to go on him.
Can they kill him though? He's out of there. Ember Spirit.
Very limited with stuns. They needed some kind of silence. Maybe we're talking about tier 4 items potentially. There's not going to be Orchid, but that you know, those tier 4 items, it's going to take a while until they kick in. By tier 4 I mean tier 3, and yeah, we'll have to see what happens, because right now it's very difficult for them to just go on Ember Spirit, especially with this Lincoln Sphere. So he is protected against the Winter's Curse, and now with the Blink Dagger finally picked up on Tusk, it's a little easier for them to go in, and also that's going to be another way of saving people. Fade Beyond, deeping top, wants to get some split push going.
Yeah, it's just been a beautiful flow from OG's game. You know, LGD have been relatively passive, making quite telegraphed moves, but every time OG sees an initiation or a gank coming out of LGD, they are there with 4 or 5 heroes ready for this big teamfight brawl. And then you can, you know, equally say LGD very good at reading the necessity to retract from these situations, get back to a defensive posture. but I'm just not quite sure when that spark moment's going to be, when LGD are fully ready to match up against OG. A second Roshan potentially coming up soon. 2 minutes until he spawns. Could be the next flashpoint for them. As Yi on this high ground in his own triangle, Fisher's flying out left and right. And Arme forced to spin quite early on here. Yuragi.
No Omnislash, he does not want to commit.
They have to fall back, you're right. And it's just OG poking and prodding, consistently forcing LGD to fall back and retreat from every fight.
If Ame had ulti available, he would definitely go in and try to commit, because he potentially can delete one hero, but we've seen what happened before. Double force staff, get him out of the trouble if one is not enough, and now they're chasing. Taiga does have force staff available, but gonna drop, and he also lost the gem.
Oh, he did as well, you're right. Gem on the floor, buyback from the Keeper of the Light. Roshan 1 minute away, but BZM still moving forward. Wants to play towards Nothing to Say. The Lincolns is popped. And Amar going for the TP out. Snowball and the Curse will cancel it out. As the Omni Slash in the back onto BZM and Yuragi. Takes them low, but no kill coming through for him as Amar dies on the staircase. LGD hold this triangle, and Seb, the next casualty here, will get the Echo Slam out, but still dies for his trouble. Faith Beyond coming out with a double kill, and 40 seconds until Roshan respawns. Unlucky for LGD.
Not ideal for them, but great way to approach the fight. They isolate, first they proc the Lincolns on Ember Spirit with the enchant, and why he's not afraid. He's in the front lines, being able to tank, soak up all that damage. He's like, yep, just go on me. I want to bait some spells, potentially, like get the Lotus Orb out, yeah, just way they're spread around, and in the end the Echo lands, but everyone else is way too far away. Seb trying to farm up his Blink Dagger, does have a Philly Stone, so that's going to help out quite a lot.
Oh yeah. Yule's into Blink. Get himself some good items going for himself. He's the most farm support in the game, and with a Kotl on your team, that's honestly quite surprising. Usually the Keeper of the Light is the one that transfers into the position of 3, basically, but he's the hard 5 here as Taiga.
When Seb is playing for OG with the new squad, Taiga is kind of playing 5.
Kneels before his liege. Yuragi unable to defend his top tower. Faith Beyond will take it down with his Treants. And Roshan scouted now by both teams. Alpha Wolf and the Earthshaker pop their heads around the corner.
There's also a new set of items for PSG LGD in the next minute or two. We're talking about Scotty on Juggernaut and also Nature's Prophet with the full AC. So that's going to tank up the whole squad against the Bristleback, against the minus armor. Inside the pit they go.
And LGD have all their tier 3 neutrals as well, while OG only has one of them. Not farming out the neutral camps, instead trying to chip away at Roshan. First hit bash, and Missile Blade there. Good damage onto Arme, needs the healing
ulti
ward.
for 2 seconds.
Backup comes in the form of Yi's Enchantress as well, so plenty of heals for Arme.
Faith Beyond instantly goes to the top lane, trying to get some farm up. Has enough to buy full AC. Let's see if he commits.
Well, he's pushing,
going for it.
Pushing bot with Treants, pushing top with Hero, gets his AC, he's all over the place.
This percentage-based damage, like Bristleback's never gonna feel too comfortable coming into a fight. Ember Spirit is it.
BZM straight in. Fisher comes with a snowball save, buys time for LGD to maybe turn the fight around, but the 2 supports now on the low ground. Pummeled down by Amar and BZM.
Double buyback.
In comes the Ember again with the DD rune going. They're focusing, Nothing to Say. They're splitting, trying to get away from this Winner's Curse potential, and they get the kill as well. A double for the Vibrant. Arme does pick up BZM. Spinning back to high ground,
Fisher.
and the Curse arriving onto Tiger. The buyback from Nothing to Say gets them 1 bonus kill. Controlling Roshan, and this is a zone around it. Amar jumped and punched by Jinkyu. Snowball forward. What can Yuragi do? Lotus Orb in on him, but Arme is clearing up in the back lines. He's spun towards victory.
No buybacks coming out from them. No buyback on Ember Spirit. PSG LGD, they're heavily committing. They want to secure this Roshan. They understand how important it is playing against the Bristleback. So only one who bought back on their side is Seb, and maybe Taiga bought back as well.
Taiga did 3 minutes ago, yeah.
So this is a free Roshan. A lot of commitment. They will give this Aegis to Wyvern because Ahmed doesn't feel like he's going to die. So far, he didn't die a single time. And there's also a shard, so that's going to be picked up by Wyvern as well.
Oh, that's a great shard upgrade. Splinter Blast coming out. One of those cold embraces. Yeah, another very split fight, but the fact that LG basically just hold their high ground, have that terrain advantage, and a triple buyback, you know, definitely helped out too.
Nothing to say, got heavily focused here by Amar. He used all of his mana with Fisher, also forcing a buyback. Nothing to say, will buyback and get a kill on Viper, but it's a lot of commitment, and one of the reasons why he is going for BKB, because that corrosive skin causing him a lot of issues.
And compounding the problems for OG
Yeah,
is
look at this. Two dragons fighting against each other.
Then Tusk comes in and ruins the duel. Not a 1v1 anymore. And yeah, compounding the issues for OG was the fact that, like we said prior to that fight, Faith Bian had pushed out both of the side lanes, so they're able to get themselves out on the map incredibly quickly. Sprout leashes talent now up
That's
for him.
That's a big one. That's a huge against the Ember Spirit.
And finally, some tier 3 items from OG coming out of those neutral camps. Anything particularly good? Spider legs? Against the Prophet, always very nice to see.
Earthshaker also does have a Psychic Headband for quite some time and finally has a Blink Dagger. So we might see a better Echo, a better opener. There's also a lot of stuff on the ground, like you can just cancel the Blink Dagger with one Mjolnir proc. It does have a Blink Dagger.
Oh, he does, yeah. I mean, that Blink Echo, potentially, the tool they need against Arme, right? Pre-spin, they get the Blink Echo, chain stun onto him. But they don't have that many tools to keep the disables going before he can get Omni Slash out. This Earthshaker plus the Bristle's Abyssal Blade, really, as the primary ways.
Yeah, it's called a Bristle Blade.
Bristle Blade. I should have seen that one. I should have seen that one coming, honestly. Oh, jeez.
And now Nature's Prophet going for a little bit of a scale. Getting that Rod of Atos to be able to control Ember Spirit, who's not having a BKB. This Lincoln Sphere is not going to protect you against everything, so he might still swap things around. If he wins the fight, he's definitely not going to go for it. Why? In trouble.
Yeah, straight in, jump from BZM, spin out from Arme, and the Healing Ward, plus Nature's Attendance. We've seen this from laning stage all the way through to now 33 minutes in, giving such a beautiful amount of basically burst heal at this point. But BZM and Uragi, they really want this Yi Enchantress, so they've got the Cold Embrace now adding to their heal. Spin out from Arme, we'll find Tiger on the right side, and BZM, and he's dropping pretty low, might have to skip away from this fight. Still wants the Enchantress, well, Uragi BKB'd and run himself back with the spider legs.
Ahmed's ready to jump in with a Blink Dagger.
Well, they could curse him maybe here if they pop the Lincolns. BZM out, the rest of them TP as well.
That's Sprout. Ahmed was ready to go in on Bristleback because he knew Lotus Orb was still on cooldown. Blocked off Ahmed, he couldn't pass through, and Bristleback lives in the end. OG losing momentum. They were 10k gold ahead, and with the Bristleback lineup, having all these counters for him. We're talking about Arctic Burn, percentage-based damage, tag team is maxed out for a long time ago. Nature's Prophet does have a Spirit Vessel, and the Juggernaut, he can man-fight him now.
Yeah, tons of damage with the Skadi as well. Reducing that heal, slowing him, kiting him. The shift in win probability there we just saw. Very big for LGD as that net worth gap decreases further and further. It feels quite similar to what we saw from Asta yesterday as well, you know, against these earlier timing-based drafts and strategies coming out of some of the European teams. Now, a couple of these Chinese teams, Asta and LGD, very good at understanding that if they delay the game just, 10 minutes.
And they know exactly how to delay the game. They went in, took the first Aegis where you want to take out all the tier 2 towers with the Bristleback lineup, potentially go for the high ground if you find an opening, but they didn't. They took that Aegis immediately, only losing ZinQ, and then game kind of shifted towards PSG LGD. Even though it says 1k gold lead for OG, game's getting more and more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely is. And it's not just completely passive play either, right? You know, LGD were taking fights on the enemy side of the map. We think about 15, 20 minutes in when they were playing top jungle. Even though they were losing these fights, they were still forcing OG to respond in situations and areas of the map that don't really favor them or give them an advantage. They weren't allowed to get close to the Radiant base, do what they do best.
Look what Y has queued up.
What is
36 minutes in. He's like, do I need to be more tanky? I'm getting a bracer.
All right. Yeah, just a cash bracer. He's got the blast rake, fluffy hat.
And they're also pushing out the waves with a lot of different stuff. Nature's Prophet ulti, TPing, then using Nature's Call, Y with his creep, and also Juggernaut using Mjolnir on a creep wave. So OG's never close to their base.
Yeah, just getting repelled across the river. I will smoke us 4 though. I want to make a meal out of this. Get a proper team fight going. And taking control of that Radiant Triangle, incredibly important for this Dire squad to access these tier 2s, access the enemy base. Get some good vision down.
Done on Nature's Prophet. That means you don't care about Lincoln's on Ember Spirit, and he changed his mind. He understands after seeing that Road of Atos that he will need to be able to protect himself. Very close. He needs another creep wave to buy that BKB.
He's got a couple up top to clear out. There's the BKB done. But LGD once more straight up into top jungle, forcing a fight in OG's territory. BKB forced from the bristleback. And LGD, they go in, they poke, they come back out. Now they can think about round 2 if they spot someone out.
Baiting a BKB from bristleback, that's big.
Faith Beyond, well, he was thinking about TPing forward there. Saw on the mini-map.
Yeah, killing the courier. TP in value. Kill the courier, die.
Yeah, just go in. Get the job done. Don't care about the consequences.
Juggernaut hit level 25, something that we didn't mention. One of the best talents and the most fun one. Plus 475 HP. Very cool.
It's like the Spectre talents, isn't it? Like plus 5% dispersion, plus 500 HP.
That's a cool talent.
Yeah,
but this is just like straight. This is 25. It's straight up raw HP.
Here's your health, buddy.
Double damage bottom.
What is that? It's like 15% of his total health when he pre-talent. Penta-edged sword now for him. DD bottled, basher and backpack. Armate has overtaken the bristleback in net worth. A real true carry in this game. Roshan still at least 20 seconds away from spawning. But LGD get the D ward, very important there from Yeet to make sure there is limited to no vision for OG around the pit.
And still protecting their own board. On the high ground, this is what gave them vision in the previous fight to get that BKB. On cooldown for bristleback, which is down to 7 seconds now.
It looks like Tiger did rebuy a gem, as the Enchantress had stolen his previously. Well, this is where LGD want to be. Just waiting for OG to come. And yeah, 5 seconds for Roche to pop back up. Ninja gear for nothing to say. Can't be found. And with Roshan alive and scouted by LGD, they're just going to waltz into the pit and take it.
Double damage on Jug, does have a basher as well. OG, they know this is happening, but how fast can they get here?
Not fast enough. There's no way they can traverse across the map quickly enough to get there. And they've given away their positioning there with a remnant chucked out by the Ember. They do get a bit of vision out on the map.
Aghanim Scepter now also done on Juggernaut, so having that Swift Slash, or Mini Slash that I like to call it. Just an extra tool to potentially like get some damage done and also get the bash during the BKB, beta 4 staff.
Save yourself from an Earthshaker jump in as well. Re-grab that outpost down bottom. Oh mate, he spots a small cap, so he'll go farm it.
Sebastian buying book for himself, wants to hit that level 20, extra Fisher range.
Oh, are we on first name terms now, are we?
Yeah, there's a Sebastian.
Yeah.
Very close to level 20. That he can keep the distance then and not be found by Nature's Prophet. It's going to be all about using that Fisher multiple times.
He's
There's
leashed.
the leash.
Have they got enough to kill him? He's got BKB.
But the
Lincoln's popped. Still got the slight and the jump away. BKB utilised by BZM though. And he's got the flicker as well. But in comes the catapult wave with Armate. They're under dire vision, but we'll see what Seb can do here. He does have the ability to jump in and go. Just launches a Fisher at them, while Amar focuses in towards the Enchantress for a little bit.
Efficient push. One Fisher, one blast from Keeper of the Light. Whole wave pretty much gone. On bottom lane. Fate Beyond.
Oh, the chain stuns. He gets the spin out. Sanj and Yasha there allowing him to get out of that continual disable.
They saw Fate Beyond deeping bottom. They're like, we have 15 seconds. We'll try to poke, see what happens.
They're looking for BZM here. Faith Beyond Invis. Oh, Jinkyu couldn't get the punch in time, but BZM might still get jumped upon. He's used his flicker already, trying to remnant and jump away. The big old snowball, not going to catch him. Does get shard blocked in though. One remnant remains. Incredibly slow BZM Ember Spirit, trying to retreat.
They might still be able to catch him.
I think they might just have him. Flickers off a nice little dispel there, but in goes Faith Beyond again with a Sprout. Leash him up and catch the Ember Spirit. Down he goes, while Juggernaut has managed to disengage from the rest of OG.
And still holding that Aegis will pick up Arcane Rune. Ame, he wants to jump in. They chased him down for a very long time, forcing him to use all remnants. Does have buyback if necessary. Still, 2 minutes left on Aegis. I want to see PSG LGD go for the high ground. Go for the high ground, get fissured, get blasted by Keeper of the Light, stop.
Get blink echoed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to take this very, very slowly and deliberately. There's still a tier 2 bottom that they can claim. No need to irrationally shove up high ground. You do have the Jug with spin that can do a pretty good job here, but the Lotus Orb bounces the Swift Slash back onto him. He'll look towards Tiger with a Mjolnir. Static charge bouncing in, nothing to say. Kills off Seb as well, and now the only slash, the real one, Yuragi, killed off. Buybacks galore from OG. 4 of them returning to the battlefield, while Ame still has that Aegis. Seb is in towards nothing to say, but he's eating the cheese and gets the BKB out as well. LGD are able to reset while Yuragi charges forward. Another Fisher out. Tusk stunned up with a bash too, so a couple of kills from OG in there.
Can he get out?
The retreat out for LGD successful.
This is perfect for PSG LGD. Getting 4 buybacks out and also losing only 2 supports who have buybacks one more time. Big damage from Juggernaut.
Yeah.
7,000 almost. We like to round up the numbers, but yeah, he went in, forced that Lotus Orb, used the Swift Slash, and then when the Lotus Orb was gone, goes in with the full Omni.
And still has Aegis for a minute. Don't think they'll be able to use it for another
he's ready to go.
high ground push. The Scythe device, the Linker's popped to BZM, he's dead. 2 minutes with no Ember Spirit now.
Oh, Yuragi's here. Still 30 seconds left on Aegis. Rest of the team is trying to connect.
He's just going to continue fighting this, though, Yuragi. Chases back Ame. The Abyssal Blade comes. Aegis, yes, it's there to be reclaimed. Seb wanting Faith Beyond, who TP'd into the back lines. His BKB gives him the safety, and the Fisher blocked away Yuragi, so no bashes could come.
Also,
spin
final
out.
legs were not ready.
ATM. Lotus Orb on him. Scardy Slow's annoying. But Faith Beyond is going to... Look, he's just TPing around from high ground to low ground. Look at me, I'm over here, I'm over there. And ATF jumped upon by Ame. And nothing to say. Well, White does get the finishing blow on him. So 2 heroes dead for a minute and a half now, and OG in a 4v3.
Yeah, no buyback on Viper, does not have enough gold, and also Ember Spirit did buyback in the previous fight. Nature's Prophet did hit level 25, so you know that all lanes are going to be pushed in. Also this Scythe of Wise pickup, plus a Trickster's Cloak, so he can initiate from Invis, whether we're talking about the Sprout, Gleipnir, or Scythe of Wise, the Leech mechanic, and OG, they do have Fisher one more time, but that's about it.
Just don't forget about Blink Echo. That's the one thing that LGD have to have at the forefront of their minds.
Be ready. It's very difficult. He goes in with the Blink Dagger, Snowball Save, or just a casual 4-step. Ame wants to finish the game.
Yeah, they want these tier 4s. They know there's no Viper, no Ember. 30, 40 seconds on the sidelines for them. And he goes in with a quick Swift Slash and a spin. Oh, Yuragi, down you go. So quickly falling for this Juggernaut's right-click damage. Still alive with his BKB and Lotus Orb,
ready to jump with Omni.
Oh yeah, Army. He comes in with a basher, clears up 2 more kills, and that's OG down and out. They will get the Yules up. Seb cyclones himself, but there is no safety from this LGD side.
Gary, did you just call it Omni Slash?
Omni Slash, I did indeed. Thank you for noticing.
That was a good one. In the end, a bit too difficult. They needed to close out this game, but PSG LGD very disciplined and not allowing OG to go and like feel the momentum after picking up the first Roche. They did manage to take the Aegis off immediately and kind of shutting it down.
Yeah, just like slow and steady. They didn't feel panicked. It was very calm from LGD, you know, the trademark LGD performance from them. OG, how do you combat this? How do you play? Do you play faster? Do you want to try and change your draft to maybe play slower to match LGD?
Yeah, put it on 1.2 speed and just play faster, play turbo, while PSG LGD is playing normal Dota.
Well, we'll see what our panel thinks about that idea as we head over to them.
We definitely will indeed, as that game number 1 between LGD and OG was fantastic from both sides, wouldn't you say, Sheep? I mean, OG looking really good in that first little bit of the game, but LG...
Game number 1 pa lang, mainit na. Balik tayo sa game number 2 natin, maya lamang. Load muna sa mga tropa natin. Bawal watch live. Watch friend time. Discord. Load muna tayo sa mga tropa natin. Swabe naman, swabe. Load tayo sa mga tropa natin.
Meron tayo.
Yun, no?
Pwede kunin to, pwede kunin.
Hindi, kunin yan. Tatalon lang ako.
Back na, magpapasa.
Ay, mga pamusta
The
sa
enemy's
LG.
top tower has fallen.
Talo na.
Nakambak pa ng LGD, lamang OG. Nakembak eh.
Panalo
LGD.
Yung MIPS. Ito.
Tara.
Nagkaalapag yung disco mo. May parts eh.
Lord, pumunta pa siya dyan.
Inano niya. Babalik ako. Babalik.
Wala na rin.
Wala na.
Ay, may red blood si Jerome dun.
Hindi, wala nang tao eh. Gabi na kasi, Bin.
Zero lang meron.
Shadow Blade. Hindi pwede matalo LGD. Nakataya ako kay Ame.
Wala nga akong silver na card dun eh. Kahit
Ako,
silver.
wala kahit lang.
Sa akin din eh.
Napakalaman.
Ang hirap magka-silver dun.
Fuck.
Yan pala.
Tara Jules, kaya natin yan Jules, patayin sa combo natin.
Talon yung Mipo.
Yan dyan ako, titipin lang.
Pero si Mipo.
Hindi, patayan.
Ay, kaya ni nagpipila.
Ito pa oh.
Ay, naka-silence na.
Let's
Ano
talk
na,
about
tingin na dito.
Nice to one.
Parang nanonood din ako ng LGD versus OG.
Ano na kami pre? Do or die. 0 for kami.
Pero, wala pa mo rin.
0 for kami.
Iba talaga pag Friday. Iba ang tama. Iba ang tama ng Friday. Hits you
Pakuha
right.
to. May travel pala ako.
Ay, ako pala nakabibin. Naunahan mo lang ako dyan,
the enemy's middle tower.
Nilipat ko naman yung camera pre. Nilipat ko yung camera pre.
Kahit yung double damage sa JD, kasi sa likod ng puno.
Nandito yan, nandito.
May ilaw ako eh. Wala pa ang TV ah.
Lang natin ang game number 1, game number...
Basta huwag lang kayong kakalasin ng...
No.
Tras na.
Sa JJ, andun pala.
Support. Grabe yung TA oh. Ano to pa? MKB? Ano to? MKB? Ano pa MKB na nga ito? Demonage, Javelin na tsaka...
Tapos yung ano oh. Patayin natin ito Bin.
Tapos ka.
Back to 4.
Sino pumatay sa akin? Lanaya. Ako, yari.
Sakit ng physical.
Tatalon yun, Jun.
Pumatay sa'yo yung ano, Mipo, Jom. Mipo.
Hindi, Lanaya.
Don't let your middle tower fall.
BKB.
Naka-BKB ako, hindi ako masasaktan sa pop eh.
Middle tower is down. You just let them.
So.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Ay, kumpang
Looks like Dire fortified their structure. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is gone. I tried to warn you.
Kaya nila yan.
Your middle
BKB,
barracks have
NVMe na
fallen.
pala buo na.
Hindi natin kaya crush ng pakunti-unti tayo eh. Dapat talaga. Ano.
Ang sa kung tayo talaga dapat.
Don't let your middle tower fall.
Pwede ako pumasok, papasokin ko na ha.
Your middle tower has fallen.
Ay, isa ang ano, Jules. Tayo isa. Inboard.
Mipo.
Nakatalo.
Silence.
Valorant. Bye-bye ako.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Nice one.
You really should look at your bottom tower.
Silence. Yun, nice.
Sa inanong ano na yun ha. So,
Your middle
Bakit?
tower is under
bumalik.
attack.
Ayun dito.
Toto.
May sentry kayo. Oh, wala.
Diyan na Mipo mga
Your
tumalan.
middle tower is under attack.
Kaya na nga.
Tumalun. Layo ako na din. Silensyo po pabor. Silensyo po pabor.
Sila na iya.
Ito, wala na naman.
May didi. Toto. Bumalik pa sa Didi oh.
Bug.
Nice.
Uy,
Uta, ayun, andito yun. Ay, nag-dagger.
di pa ata. Andyan pa rin.
Sentry lang.
Buyback, mag-buyback. Baka dito mag-tip yan.
Uy,
Patay to.
big fish, big fish.
Wala sentry.
Ayaw, buhay lang kami.
Tumagil po.
Dati natin nabol, nag-buyback na sila eh. Patay ito eh.
Labang kayo din, Ben. Dieback yan eh. Dieback dalawang core. Yan pa isa. Oh, dieback din mo. Okay. Panalo na.
Tap.
Invoker at saka kain nila. Okay. Makakabak naman para talagang TI11.
Jules mana.
Ay, sorry. Mag-band ko lang yun.
Ano pala yan? Tatlo pala? Ano pala dapat, Aris? O, tsaka eh. Oo nga.
Naras na ba? Oo, meron.
Aris? Ano yun?
Nag-dagger ah.
Pero sayang, tatlong core walang buyback. Oh. Ay, tatlong.
Dapat nga nag-arrest tayo.
Pares muna, no? Okay lang yan.
Mali pa ako na nakuha na ano, talent. Dapat yung -2 lang eh. -2 seconds. Ano, every 2 seconds.
Nandun sila. Dito? Oo, andyan sila. Dito sila. Ano ang mobile?
Ayan.
Tiny invoker yan na, tiny invoker. Tiny lang pala.
Sige lang, di mag-roshan yan.
Mabul na kayo?
Lagyan mo ako, Bin. Tantosan mo ako, Bin. Tantosan mo ako.
Silver Edge? Silver Edge? Hindi, tatanggalin niya lang pala yung ano, yung paying guard. Magic to eh. Hindi pa na ito mag-break eh. Magic to eh.
Naka ano siya yung mokong.
Ilang buhay ah.
Mga silver eater.
Ito, patay ito oh.
Lambot. Last nung refract na ay. Nandiyan na sa inyo.
Patay ito.
Ano si Kaskar?
Nakabind dyan, nakabind.
Dead ako, sorry.
Walang buhay si Jerome eh. Dapat back.
Ito pa si RB sabi ko ba? Huwag matatanggal na BGB.
Pakulong.
Try ba kayo?
Walang
Your middle tower has fallen.
Ay, pwede yung buhatin.
Defend, you're ancient. It's kind of the name of the game.
Grabe ang
Dire victory!
Gumawa na naman kasi tayo. Karanganin eh.
nadaan na ng emosyon.
Ganda na simula natin.
Gigil. Gigil.
Sa lahat ng laro natin, ito ay magkata sa wala.
Di ma-close out ang putik. Isa pa.
Isa pa, mahirap matulog niya, no?
Wala na, Vin.
Si Mer na lang.
Wala na sa loob ko, Vin.
Okay lang sa akin.
Isa pa ako.
GG na ako.
Hindi na ako din.
Stream ko pag yun.
Gusto ko makabawi.
Kasi natin mag-go na kulang tayo. Putik.
Ang ganda nung communication ng umpisa, hindi natuloy. Nung nawala.
Hindi pa na mga call.
Nung umpisa, ang ganda eh.
Hindi tayo gumagaw ng kulang-kulang. Kasi ang maganda talagang mag-kill yung kaya natin i-burst ng mabilisan eh.
Dapat may isang nagko-call talaga pag sinabi gano'n na gawin. Wala kasi tayong gano'n eh.
Yung tumatagal yung kunwari papatay natin yung isa tapos ang tagal natin bago patayin. Yung corny na parang nakukorny sa ganun parang feeling ko ang hina natin.
Dapat may designated na taga-call.
Tanggalin mo yun.
Galing mo yung feeling.
Seeing that from them, I think OG had more problems than a Shaker, though.
Okay. How do you feel about the Earthshaker gods, or just OG issues right now?
I think the hero is pretty trash. Tell my
I tried.
MOP's not here.
Yeah,
I think the hero's pretty trash. Here's the thing: normal 4 position hero, like you got most heroes have 3 spells and an ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Shaker has 1 spell.
Okay.
Like you got Fissure. Do you have any other real spells in a typical Shaker game? You're not getting value out of many of your other spells. At least not until you get Blink Dagger or a Shard. Like I just feel like you look at a Shaker making you talk about like the value of 4s that can move mid. Well, you're literally moving mid with a Fissure. You have a Tusk that moves. He's got 3 spells that he can use that do stuff. You have a Mirana. You've got Arrow.
You drive a hard bargain. More spells is pretty good.
I would like more spells.
I do rate that. That's pretty
and the
good.
thing is, like Fissure, it's a really good spell, which is why Shaker is like, like the pathing, the blocking, as well as like stun from fog. Like there's a lot of value from it, but it's just not enough. The hero has a very weak lane. Like I just think all these other heroes like Nyx Assassins, all these other 4s just are way better than Shaker.
Okay, but to just fight back against that with a really
Sure, please.
stupid point.
Yeah.
When Earthshaker was really good in the meta, he also still had only 1 spell.
True.
What's your counterpoint to that, sir?
Well, back then, I think the meta used to be you could actually get a blink. You'd almost always get a blink on Shaker. Like the game was played slower. Shakers would always get the breathing room to farm a blink, and then suddenly you're a blink Echo Slam man.
He's right. He's too smart.
Yeah, oh, God.
I've been
He
outplayed.
countered your stupid point so perfectly.
Okay,
it was
what can you do?
amazing.
I'm done.
Well,
Don't worry. The one time.
we realize we don't like the Earthshaker. Let's quickly have a chat about just OG, some of the issues they had when it came to the gameplay, right? They were doing really well early game. Obviously, they missed their timings and they weren't able to close out the game, but what contributed to that, do you feel?
I think they wanted to play around Aegis timings, and so they didn't force anything stupid. Because if you run it like a tier 2 tower and the enemy is set up for it, you do like throw the game on that type of move. So we talked before in the last panel, yeah, they go to Roche, they take the first Roche, but then when they try and take an engagement after that, feeling strong, they actually manage to kind of poke and take their Aegis in exchange for only a Tusk's life, which is terrible. So they're like, okay, we'll wait for second Roche. And they are in that Roche as soon as it respawns ready, but LGD are farmed at that point because that's what Arme does. He has farm. So they're able to contest. They're able to take that fight. And they kind of lose off the back of that. And when they aren't able to get the second Roche, that's when they kind of like fall apart. They don't make aggressive moves. If you watch them that game, it felt like they were playing on their side of the map a lot. It never felt like they were playing for objectives the same way that LGD was. There were smokes that were made, but they usually resulted in like skirmishes that never went either team's way.
Do you think that is a result of the heroes drafted? Or do you really do think that they had the ability to be enabled that way and they just couldn't do it against LGD?
Maybe there could have been more creativity to try and take objectives, like outside of Aegis.
For me, it's a bit of both, though, because like you look at some of the heroes that have like Viper Bristles, your side lane core is not very mobile, no catch. Shaker support, we talked already about the issues with Shaker. Like those three heroes, I'm just like, yeah, that's not really who's making. Like Ember, sure, great. That's the idea. That's why they last pick Ember, to plug that gap that was like glaringly missing, but it just wasn't enough.
Right, but like just quickly, because I know the draft started.
I was gonna say we are moving through this draft real quick.
Very last point.
Yeah, sure.
They did have like the Bristle was very strong. He went the Lotus Orb, and I thought that after that they would kind of force the issue because he got a lot of armor from the Lotus. It protects him against like the Omni Slash if he gets initiated on, and you could go like Shard on Viper, and that allows you to take towers because it lets you use the Viper spit on the tower and take them that way. So I don't know, I thought maybe they could have tried something like that, but maybe they were just playing too careful for their own good. So
well, hopefully I was gonna say hopefully we see a little bit of a different OG, and we already are, because this draft, their opening is the Marcy Puck. They get their hands on the Puck. They have moved it up to a first base priority, right? Because Puck got banned last game, but it was one of the last bans LGD had for it. LGD? OG. Either way, it was banned in the last phase. Now OG are able to pick it up, and they put it in first phase priority.
Who got first pick? Let me just check.
Razor. LGD.
Okay, cool, yeah. So Void Spirit is a hero that a lot of teams tend to
I love how I mentioned Marcy Puck, and you're like,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
this Razor.
No, I'm saying it in response to the Puck. In response to the Puck, a lot of teams favor Void Spirit. We saw it a lot in Tour 3. Why are you laughing at me? I swear to God, you want to fight?
No, I love you. I'm sorry.
The Marcy Puck is good.
No, please, guys, no, take the floor.
No, please tell me the void.
I don't feel appreciated here.
Oh, we got some player cams. You can see all of OG huddling around.
I was going to talk about mid matchups, but no, I don't think I will anymore.
No, I want you to do the second phase bans. Just take the wheel, Sheep, whatever you want to talk about.
Nope.
Please.
Okay, so yeah, this is a hero that's favored against Puck, just because it gives you a lot of ways to catch him. If you go the Yules, you can set up into the Remnant that the Puck can't dodge with phase shift. You can get the Ags, which is silence. It basically makes Puck's life hard in a way where he can't just go very aggressive items. He'll probably still get the Witchblade, but that does put him at risk. Obviously, other heroes are like Dragon Knight that people like, but it's up to team preference. I personally really like Void Spirit.
Okay. And what about yourself, Gods? Whose opening are you favoring a little bit more prior to seeing the IO?
I think slightly PSG. They got they first pick and they used it to. I mean, typically the team with first pick, you should have the better opener. You get the first pick of the overall draft. So if there's a must pick hero, like in this case Razor, you get that, and then you get the kind of response to enemies opener. So I think PSG have used first pick well. It's going to come down to now how OG respond in this phase of the draft. I think getting the IO here puts them in a good position. You get a comfort here for Seb, and it means their draft can go many directions, which makes it kind of tricky for LGD to pick heroes here.
Do you think they're going to look for their carry hero pick as the last pick for this phase, get the IO pairing together?
For OG?
For OG, yes.
It probably depends a bit on what LGD pick. I think it's going to come down to like what they're worried about getting banned out, because they get the last pick of this phase and the next. In the past, they're happy to use last pick on Amars here. They've did that last time they played LGD with a last pick Husker, for example. So I think
and that won them the game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so BM.
We're going to show you how to win with Shaker. Oh man.
This is ultimate now, though. We're going to see if this Earthshake is going to stay at a 0% win rate.
I hope OG winner. I'm going to look really dumb. I just spent the last like 5 minutes shitting on Shaker.
And I pulled it up. I looked
you were
at
like,
it.
but what about this?
I look so good now.
Please lose $LGD, please.
Alright, but it's going to be a pos 4. That's like the big thing. This 10 is going to be a 5.
Yeah, it was pos 4 last game too, though. Even though Seb was playing.
Okay, I just wouldn't really agree with you.
I mean, EG played at pos 4.
How was it not pos 4 last game?
He was pretty poor.
He was played in the offlane. He had
Okay.
like 8k net worth to the 5k net worth on the.
Okay,
5.
fine. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, gods. I'm sorry. I'm just feeling aggressive since you guys ganged up on me.
Well, we didn't gang up on you. It was just me. I'm sorry. Please.
No, it's okay.
Forgive me.
Sorry. Let me move on. All right. So, I was thinking about OG's first 3 heroes, and I do think they're like really strong because right now you have 2 heroes that are very good at catch in the Puck and Marcy, and then you have an IO that can bring another hero in. So if anywhere you are on the map, if you're able to find someone, you can collapse on that very quickly, and I think that's really great. Not only that, but you do have like all these buffs with the IO overload charge, whatever, and the Marcy's like rebound and sidekick and all this stuff. So you have the ability here to pick a very strong core that can just like man up and do so much, and I think that's really good. I like LGD's response though, because if you do get core by this combo, you now can nullify the damage with the Chen heal, and that's going to be really good. Also, I think, is it Chen Ags that applies a strong dispel on his ult? Because late game shenanigans, that could be extremely powerful. It just snap the coil and then all are heal.
It's like it didn't even happen.
Yeah.
All right. The Husk is coming out earlier.
That's the big
They realize it's probably going to be banned next. Do you feel that OG's going for a different tempo, a different playstyle now, seeing these 4 heroes compared to game 1?
It feels like they already, I think, fixed some of the playstyle. The Puck Marcy, to me, was their way to kind of address what happened in game 1, where it's like, we need more playmaking, we need ways to set the tempo ourselves. And then, yeah, they pick cores around it that are going to be, problematic. Like Husker has these great Roche timings, it's just a lane dominator, it's like the kind of fits the Amar, like semi-carry from the offlane. And it's a hero that, you kind of have to address in some ways. Like, I don't really feel like PSGLG have the damage or tools to kill a Husker right now.
Yeah.
So.
Last game, what I really liked about the response to Earthshaker was they picked heroes that can fight early, and they did do that on LGD. They ran a lot at OG pre, like their Ember Maelstrom and their Bristle Ags. And this game, I see the same sort of response from OG. You have a lot of heroes that can run at you before Earthshaker gets his 6, gets his blink, because that's when he's strong. If you're able to tempo these team fighters, then you're very strong. The only problem is you do have a Razor and a Chen that do kind of fix that timing problem for an Earthshaker.
Is there something that you feel LGD might be lacking then? Or is there a standout hero that you think can pull it all together and maybe fill in some of those holes you think LGD has at the moment for their draft?
I think there's a couple directions they can go if they want to like try and sit back and play like the waiting game, like with the pick up a harder carry that doesn't get too beat down by Husker in lane. Alternatively, they can try and match the tempo, play like Razor safe lane, or even if they're doing a 3-position Razor, pick a carry that is like just not going to take a lot of farm or time to come online. So I'm kind of curious which direction they go. Typically with a Chen draft, you're not looking to play a slower game. You want to have more like bunch of semi carries that kind of match the tempo of your opponents.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think right now who kills the Huskar.
Yeah.
Any ideas?
I don't know, like...
Yeah.
The thing is, surely they have to have something for this Husker, because, like I keep saying, right, the last time these 2 teams faced off, the game that OG won was with that Husker, so surely that was an issue that they felt they needed to look at, potentially address.
Yeah. It's very different because they picked it like into Spectre and stuff that game, like they had a really good lane, and it wasn't like the Husker solo carried the game or anything. If anything, he actually... didn't have the best game compared to some of his teammates, but it was that like Timbersaw thing where it's like you've suddenly got to focus this guy and address him, and as a result, everyone else on the OG side gets all the space in the world to farm and play, have the best game possible.
Yeah, they can try and do like a wave cutting thing and try and delay to timings, like last game. They can pick. I know, like in the past, I've seen Huskar suffer against things like Black Hole. If this was to be a Razor carry, you can just try and kill him in that sort of space. I was going to want to play with him. Maybe you can take advantage of that. They've banned out the Monkey AA. I think those are like pretty decent, solid heroes.
Yeah. AA is a funny band because like, where does it fit in? They kind of pick their supports, but they could. Faith Beyond has played Shaker before, so maybe they're thinking they could do like 3 Shaker. It's very much like a, hey, we have IO Husker, like let's just ban the AA.
Okay, CK is going to be a lot of damage. The only like saving grace is Huskar was gifted the ability of an AoE disarm, which is always lovely. He's also going to potentially buy Halberd and make it a little bit harder for that physical damage to kill him.
And you got to imagine OG's like, okay, they're using CK as their kind of Husker answer. Let's address the CK, because this is where OG get that last pick. So I feel like OG's drafted really well, getting the Husker pick where they did, and now getting a response to the CK, which you got to imagine is going to make CK's life a bit more difficult.
What do you think is a nice response then that's still left in the hero pool and also works with their lineup? Is anything missing from OG's lineup right now?
Is Bristle banned? They could just take another
Bristle. Yeah.
Bristle is not Bristle.
Is Sven playable?
Sven is, yeah, like Team Spirit love that hero, and I think it's pretty good because, oh well, they're not going to play it, but so I won't talk about it. But Doom's very cool. As a carry, it's being played a lot by Talon right now, 23 Savage. He's something he played throughout Tour 3 and this tournament. I think he literally just played it.
Believe so.
Yeah.
If not, I know that Doom was played yesterday in the carry role, but I could not tell you who played it.
But I'm loving it. Just as a piece of fact, whatever. People have been playing Doom as carry with like other scaling cores like Enigmas and Visages and stuff. So this fits this drop perfectly. You have a Huskar, so it's it fits in very well as a carry.
Where do you guys feel that this is going to go? How early, late is this game going to end? And which side do you favor just a little bit more based on those timings?
OG for sure.
I'm really liking OG's draft.
Really?
I don't think it's going to be super fast-paced. Like, I mean, they're going to make these aggressive moves, but like Husker, Doom, they're going to look to farm it up a bit as well. And it's more about like hitting some of these BKB timings later on. And I think that's where suddenly, PSG LGD just don't have good answers for Husker or Doom.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to seeing if OG can take it to their right timings and take game number 2 as we head over to Gareth and Lacoste.
Yeah, away we go. LGD sniping out that Shaker, maybe showing Seb how it's done, but Doom and
That's
Husker,
a ballsy
man.
move. I mean, Earthshaker so far in the tournament is 0-3.
Yeah.
And this might be the first W. This is last pick Doom into Earthshaker. If you get a good block off and looking at the chase potential from OG, there's like relocate, but that's about it. Maybe Puck, but yeah, you need to be able to connect onto target with the Doom and delete it. This is also position 1 Doom that some teams are playing it. Panel talked about Talon. The other team that comes to my mind is Entity. They really love to run it. And yeah, looking at the other heroes on PSG LGD, I feel like it's going to be about initiation. If this CK gets the ulti off in the fight, we're talking about like 2-3 extra illusions. Doom's not going to be able to find the target. Also, Huskar doesn't deal too well with it, and this might be a problem. So if Ame, because Ame had a perfect game in the previous one, masterclass performance, and also looking at some of the itemization that popped onto my mind, I would love to see Void Spirit with Void Spirit Vessel. That's about it. Because you're playing against Huskar, you're playing against Io.
So many heals.
You want to get that as soon as possible. Shaker's not that hero. Like, you could potentially get it, but you also want to get the different items, and you're not going to be able to get it fast enough. So definitely an item to look out for to be able to shut down the healing, and it's a good matchup. This is the first phase Void Spirit against Puck, so good matchup for Void Spirit overall.
Yeah, so is this Doom? You mentioned a couple of other teams have been playing it. We know Anna was practicing it as well, prior to Riyadh and coming into this event as one of his position 1 heroes. Is this the answer to the kind of LGD Asta delay the game strategy? Is this your scaling potential to match them in late game?
Doom in the late game is pretty insane. We're talking about Hand of Midas, then getting
Devour.
Devour, that extra goal kicking in, Shiva's Guard Refresher, Blink BKB. This is where hero becomes super obnoxious. And Huskar also in the late game, like this hero scales super well, so does Puck, so I'm not too worried about OG. I also want to see how Marcy is going to skill the abilities and also what the item build is going to be. Because I have seen, I've talked to Seb during Riyadh Masters about it, and kind of have the same thinking where if you go and get just like Dispose and what's the other ability called? Rebound. That's a good job, Gary. You're on point. That's why I have you here. You're using like half of your hero pretty much. Ulti is for the dispel, you're not dealing damage. I like the style that Jin-Q plays.
Like phase BKB?
Phase BKB, Blink Dagger, or phase, just the Blink Dagger, because you can get in and then get out. If you go with just Ether Lens, you go in and you're dead. Also, your scaling is not as good.
You're like a weaker Tiny at that point, right?
Yeah,
if you're
pretty much.
the Blink Ether Lens build, you just initiation, that's your job done.
Casters,
I think we're ready to
start the game, please, Andy. I'm going to clap and we're going to start the game.
Away we go. Game 2. LGD already won game to the good up against OG.
Yeah. The reason why we didn't start is we needed to finish a couple of points, and all 10 players and the production waited until we were done.
Well, when Lacoste talks, you listen. That's the rule number 1 of Dota 2 major events. As we get ourselves towards these bounty runes. Tiger Amar up towards top. Jinq and Faith Bian lurking in the shadows.
PSG LGD stole their heroes. This is Razor, classic Amar hero, and also OG tried to play Earthshaker twice so far in this major. Oh, this is gonna get dewarded Faith Beyond, getting some extra gold. Never mind, it's Jinq getting extra gold.
Oh, it was a sentry, wasn't it?
It was his sentry, yes. And he's bringing another one.
Ooh. Go hunt down the vision of OG. And maybe they've got a good idea of that mid lane ward that is pretty shallow near the tier 1. Well, down towards bot, nothing to say, gets out his Resonant Pulse. Arme here as well. As Faith Beyond, nothing to say, do get a couple of the bounty runes. The 4th one, though, is BZM's, giving the 2 for 2.
Nothing to say, starting with 20%, 30% HP against BZM. We saw yesterday when BZM first game against Liquid was playing Batrider. That did kind of cost him the lane and also not necessarily the game, but the game was definitely harder. And we see Ramses also coming out from... not sure who... How do you know who used the spray?
I don't know. Is the purple outline... No, it can't be. There's nothing to say he's teal. I don't know. The direction, maybe?
Oh yeah, Ramses is attacking Radiant Tower. So that's BZM.
He's pushing forward for it. Static link up top. Jinq with a Fisher there as well. Amar trying to get around the side while Tiger's courier should be finished off here by the Earthshaker. Did deliver in that extra bit of regen and a couple of sentries.
Making an adjustment. They want to have Huskar against Razor where he can still deal damage with his burning spears and also having inner fire, so having that disarm works really well. They can also reposition him once Marcy gets level 2, but still I'm favoring the lane for LGD. I think Razor is one of the heroes that can man up, and also having a Fisher to block him off, and this is potentially a first blood lane that I'm looking at.
It definitely could be.
And it's just kidding, it's not. Now our observers are going to be looking at the top lane a little bit more.
Let me give Scriff the shakes. Bottom lane, what is it? IO Doom. Tons of sustain coming out of Seb. He's got his wand, Fairy Fire.
Yep, Sustain.
Sustain, yeah.
Seb did hit level 30 on IO the other day. It's one of the heroes that he has been spamming, so...
Oh, he's Master Tier now.
Master Tier, expecting some big things, big relos.
Big tethers. There's a link up top again. But you see there, Marcy with the maneuverability just to jump over the Fisher, get away. Yuragi. Oh, he's been pounded by Arme.
Oh, good body block. Like, Arme did kind of close the gap.
I can't finish him.
Still gonna be fine. There's still Fairy Fire on IO, and he will be okay. Healing Salve used.
Yeah, plenty. A regen there, and going to have a ring of regen brought out to Seb as well. No more tangos or salves though, so if we do have another move by LGD to play aggressively, we could find a kill on Seb potentially. How's that mid lane going? Even though Nothing to Say had a rough start, like you said, starting 20% health, he's still doing fine. Jinq. Yeah, Fisher blocks them out. Oh, Amar trapped by the creeps. The Radiant Creep Wave doing their job, keeping Huskar in range for Faith Beyond to get first blood.
And now they have level 3 on Earthshaker, who's going to have some extra mana from Mangoes, using a healing salve as well. So an extra layer of stun, an extra bit of a physical damage that sometimes you need. So off to a really good start. Faith Beyond, we saw in the previous game what happens when he is the one popping off early on, and this might be the same thing.
Yeah, very well could be. I'm going to pull across as well for Jinq. Just keep dragging that creep wave around. BZM made his way up to top to grab himself a bounty rune. He even scanned it as well as he was afraid of what was lurking in the shadows. Now, about a wave behind in terms of CS against Nothing to Say, but Void Spirit makes that same move down towards the bottom. Bounty rune himself.
Also, I don't think there's going to be any movement on Void Spirit. Even when Puck hits level 6, it could potentially be Marcy, but Io's not that hero that's going to rotate. So I feel Void Spirit is going to have a really good time. And look at this, same thing happened in the previous game where Jinq goes for that 4-minute rune, leaves some extra experience to Faith Beyond on top.
Yi there with the penitence. That's going to be incredibly potent, paired up with this Chaos Knight, getting that attack speed onto heroes like Io. Drag them out of place with the Rift. And do a tremendous amount of damage. So far, Arme 22-8, really untouched in this lane. Both him and the Doom have so much heal from their supports, right? You've got Chen with his passive, you've got this Io topping them up as well.
In terms of CS, Huskar is doing better than RYZEN, but if we show network, it looks better for RYZEN. Yeah, show network, please.
Yeah, 2100, 2130. It's pretty close up at the top. Doom, the one down at the bottom, surprisingly. We'll start catching up with this Devour eventually, though. And Seb's grandson in that mid lane, 23-6 on the puck, just chipping away at the Void Spirit. Trade out in the regen.
Nothing to say, tanking up on his Void Spirit, bringing a Raindrop, bringing full Magic Wand to be able to sustain through puck. Big small cam stack. Let's see if Nothing to say. Oh, he didn't get it. He got like only a couple of those. But got the XP, which means that he got level 6.
And dispose up top.
The TP out.
Faith Beyond attacked by the inner fire. Amar getting OG's first kill. And you're right, that puck very close to death, just about jaunting to the orb to get away from the astral step. Oh, Nothing to say. I mean, Chen here, he's got lots of little items, a little thrift shop going. Blightstone, Sage's Mask, Headdress. And minus armor with Penitence and the right clicks of CK. It's no joke when you're an Io or a Doom.
Also, minus armor from Reality Rift. It's level 1, so extra 4 on top of 2, which brings Doom's armor almost to minus. One of the reasons why he decided to go for Phase Boot, so we'll be okay. Putting a lot of pressure with this Doom and Io. Very difficult to trade regeneration against Io. Even though you have Chen, even though you have CK, still OG playing this lane really well.
Yeah, just keeping that pressure moving forward. And the catapult wave doing some significant damage to that bottom tier 1. Does get cleared out in the end by Arme. He's constantly at half HP. Thinks about the stun, but when he's so low, doesn't want to make the jump onto Seb when there's 1 charges.
And the Fairy Fire did not want to commit.
Yeah, little abilities to turn fights around. But look at this. Nothing to say. Oh, has he been scouted?
He's scouted by the Sentry Ward.
Dire Sentry sees him. He's still going to go for Tiger, though, it looks like. Move in towards the back, ignores Tiger, wants Huskar instead. Struggling to decide which target he's going for. Jump, you know, he's moving up, moving down now, focus in towards him and blow up Amar. Tiger, the next target. Line it up and finish him off. For little Marcy, no way to jump away from this, is there? Maybe he can get a dispose out, but Nothing to say. Going to try to catch up. Seb with a heal, now the 2-man coil. Tiger's still alive and able to battle on through. They will get the Waning Rift in onto 3. The silence lasts long enough to kill them off. RYZEN and the Void Spirit down and out, and Xin with one last Fisher finishes off the puck. A 3-for-2 trade. Now Xin should surely be disposed back and found. Seb with a double.
Void Spirit 1 second until the Resonant Pulse. If he gets that off, getting some extra damage and also getting the tankiness, I think he lives there.
Another reload bottom. And Uragi with Tiger. They're coming down here thanks to Seb, aiming for Arme. TPs from LGD are coming through, but the CK, even with his 1 charge, is dead to right. In comes NTS though. Resonant Pulse, the relocate out, they'll leave Tiger here to die as they save up the Doom.
Some good rotations, hitting that level 6 on Io at minute 8. That was pretty big. They did lose Amar, but also supports are getting quite a lot from this. Both supports going to be level 6 before minute 10.
A little interesting that Seb's going for the Locket first item. I feel like in recent times it's been that mech rush and Locket comes after. Do you think
he's doing it the other way around. Yesterday also, Holy Locket into mech.
Okay. Is there a good reason for that? Just quicker, faster to get there?
I think so. I think because of the build-up, because he like gets the headdress and you get it easier. You do have a magic wand as well, so I think that might be the reasoning. I also could be wrong. It's straight up 50-50. Either I'm lying or Seb is right.
You're right or you're wrong. No in between. Yeah, I think you're spot on there. You've got all of the little elements, small item build-up. towards that locket. As Tiger gets found in the river and his ward removed by Jinkyu as well. Sentry there to unblock the camp. LGD very quick off the mark here to respond to Tiger's movement. Armor closing in on Armlet. One of the big timings here for OG.
Coil on the mid lane. Doom is available.
Yeah, chucks it in onto him. Nothing to say. Nowhere to run. Yuragi and BZM clearing through the Void Spirit easily, and that's the big reason they picked that Doom, isn't it? The lockdown on the Void Spirit, so important for them.
It's a lot of units here. They do have Toughness Aura and also Alpha Wolf Aura.
Body blocks. Yee, and a good face shift. Gets away from
Hand
the
of God
Fisher.
is available if needed.
Amara didn't want to jump into the middle of all of them. Doesn't even have the life break skilled. 3, 5, 6. Is he holding a point? He is, right?
Yes, Gary. 1 + 2 is 3, + 3 is 6, and he's level
7
7.
-1 is
-1.
Right.
Fisher. Jinkyu looking for an angle.
Does that block him? Oh, he's got a little path through the trees, so now.
Oh, Ame might be in trouble one more time. He senses something's cooking.
Yeah, he's trying to clear out small cap. BZM.
There's Relo.
In we go with a Relo and the jaunt forward. Tumblr's toy to try and scout out Arme. Faith Bian disposed, sent back towards his tower. Good damage onto Tiger though, as Arme will claim his life.
Oh,
but
big
Fisher and the Echo! Jinkyu! He's done so much here to save Arme and allow him to open up and do the damage they needed. BZM, where are you off to now? Yuragi's being left here.
Hurricane.
No way out.
And Reality Rift Paul. What a turnaround play from PSG LGD. We mentioned that both supports on OG are going to be level 6 pre-10 minutes, and so did both supports on PSG LGD. This was Earthshaker with only 1 point in the Aftershock, so couldn't stun lock them, because you want to, whenever you play position for Earthshaker, you want to max out that Fisher instead. And also, unfortunately for OG, Coil was not ready, so they couldn't go on CK and keep him in place to be able to deal damage. So a lot of time bought, and also Hand of God heal coming in.
Yeah, Arme going to be incredibly happy with the response he got from his team. The backup arrived so quickly, and now he's going to go on Yuragi. Chucks the stun at him. Phantasm with that illusion doing some decent chip damage, but he's the one being turned on. Yi is here as backup with a Wild Wing. Tiger cycloned across with a Hurricane, but I'll dispose Yi back into the middle of 4 of them. Chan just hands his life over to save the Chaos Knight.
Showing a lot of heroes bottom while Lamar is farming in the jungle. Not going to say, looking for a rune. He's going to get invis, so he's ready to rotate.
Yeah, going straight for the Aghanim Scepter on this Void Spirit. So no Spirit Vessel coming out. Do they just reckon they've got enough physical damage through the CK and the Razor?
CK and Razor, maybe that's the thinking. And also a lack of lockdown for Puck. Once Jinkyu probably going to think differently than Earthshaker in the previous game. He's probably going to be looking for that Blink Dagger. You want to be able to Blink Initiate on Huskar and mostly Puck to have that instant stun. And he queues it up.
That's what he wants. And he also wants to try and wrap around in on this bottom lane. They've already done a decent job shutting down Yuragi. Usually Doom, especially as a position 1. I guess he's more of a 3 in this because of the lane swaps. He's not top of the net worth though, which is a struggle for him as he's jumped and nearly killed straight off the bat. Reload, the save, not going to come in time. Yuragi dies under his own tier 1, but Amar, he's in onto Arme. In a fire there after the life break, and the Burning Spear stacking up, but the turnaround from Arme with a Hand of God. Heal comes through. Can't finish off ATF just yet. In onto Tiger instead. The Fisher will block him, stun him as well. He can try and toggle his way out of here with Seb's heals coming in as well, but Jinkyu's there with an Echo Slam, the chain stuns, and a rift back in.
When I said Arme toggle that he's going to be fine, I meant Ame. Ame did die that one time, and he's getting very close to Echo Saber. A lot of sustain coming up from that Chaos Strike. Y coming in clutch with Hand of God and Mech one more time. 4,000 damage. And same amount of damage from Huskar. He is officially position 1 right now.
Yeah, they've given him the farm priority. That's why, Doom is struggling, as we were saying, not top of the net worth as we usually expect from a core Doom. He still needs plenty of time. You know, he has got his Midas now, got the first use out of it, and a coil maybe into a Doom on the Void Spirit.
Can he get the Doom on? He's not going to be able to.
He gets fogged as he walks up the staircase, and now Jin-Q and Yi, they're chasing back in towards BZM. The Remnant misses, though. Nothing to say, can't catch it. Rebounded from Tiger, but the rift from Arme shreds through the Marcy, and Uragi's going to die again.
This is why I said when the game started that Shaker is really good against Doom. You need to be able to chase people down, but one Fissure block could make a change. Inside the Roche pit they go. Alpha Wolf and double damage running on Razor. It doesn't get more perfect for PSG LGD than this.
And the little ghost slowing him down as well. Who's going to get the Aegis here? Is it just Arme so they can put him on towers? Oh, it's nothing to say, so he can dive in. Have the freedom. And if he gets doomed, care a little bit less about it. Aghanim Scepter, 1100 away.
Be big for PSG LGD, having a backline jump, especially with Aegis. So you don't have to care. You can heavily commit, use 2 Resonant Pulse charges, silence Puck. Let's see how Puck is adapting. He's not getting any defensive item, going for the Blink Dagger. Nothing to say. Still chasing. He knows Taiga is in here.
Where are you? Can you hear any whistling? Oh yeah, you found the Marcy now. Fissure, well placed. As they will chain disable Tiger's Marcy.
That's a Blink Dagger 15 minutes in on Earthshaker. Considering that they've been fighting all the time and he died only 2 times, this is what you want to do with Earthshaker. Like, you either want to have a lane for 2-3 minutes to be able to farm a Blink Dagger, or a lot of skirmishes where you live and you get the ASUS gold.
Yes, that maxed out Fissure has paid off big time for him. BZM is jaunted across to the left-hand side. Jin-Q's going to find him, though. The Templar's Toy doesn't buy enough time, and the Echo Slam is there again.
Perfect timing.
Spectacular performance.
Blink Dagger just got delivered by the Courier, so he manages to close the gap, gets on top of BZM.
Jin-Q really showing us the power of this Earthshaker. Looking for the first win of the tournament on that hero. 5k net worth lead for LGD, just 16 minutes in now. As Arme plants himself in the enemy triangle, taking away some of the gold that they desperately need on OG.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They scanned him as well, but they're so afraid. They're trying to spread the map, heading northwards. Dewarding and guarding their top jungle. Good attempt from Yi there to try and deny his own Observer Award, but not quite.
Look at his little army. This doesn't look scary, but it is a lot of auras. Heal amplification aura, slow, some extra damage, and also a little bit of magic resistance.
Oh, the heal amp is so nice when you got Mech, Hand of God. The healing coming out of the CK. As we're getting close to Arme's BKB now, you can disassemble the Echo. About 1,000 away from the recipe. Tier 2 items coming into the hands of LGD. As OG, what have they got? 2 Observer Wards down towards the bottom right-hand corner of the map. And a lot of drawing there saying, push out bot lane, play into bot jungle. We've got the vision. That's where we need to fight around.
Go with 3. Be ready to come with the relocate. It's very difficult. Earthshaker doesn't have Fissure, but there is still Aegis 2 minutes on Void Spirit plus Aghanim Scepter. I think OG needs to respect this.
Yeah, 35 seconds until Echo Slam. Oh yeah, OG just fully falling back now. Still feel like they need more time. Wait out this Aegis, delay the game, get the Doom up and running because he's not online yet. Uragi needs that BKB. But LGD is so good at piercing.
Uragi got scouted. He's dead.
He's under an Observer Ward. Nothing to say. Straight in with the Ether Remnant. Arme Faith Bian will follow up. The cavalry arrives and Jin-Q will claim a kill.
Just in case he Doom presses BKB and Cheese and tries to get out.
And an Eon Disc pops, you know.
And so he makes sure that doesn't happen. Still a minute left on Aegis. Void Spirit thinking about going in.
LGD are so good at these moves though, aren't they? They find the right angle to get into enemy territory where they are at their weakest, OG. Everybody behind the tier 2 top not allowing LGD to have that opening. And Aegis 50 seconds away from being reclaimed, so they've weathered the storm for the most part, even though Yuragi has been the sacrifice 4 times this game on the Doom.
His BKB is very delayed. Also, something that we mentioned is if CK gets the ulti off, he gets 2 extra Phantasm illusions, and then it becomes very difficult for him to find which one is real.
I will find the real one straight up here with Amara Tiger. Now on to Arme. No BKB for him yet on the CK. He turns to try and fight, but he's disarmed. No more life steal. The Blink Echo. Jinkyu turns it straight back on them. Sam gonna go for the TP home. And LGD, they get something out of nothing there.
They caught him underneath the vision. There are 2 observer wards right now in PSG LGD's jungle, scouting things out in the river, or the one that's gonna get devorded right now. So Ame dying, very close to his BKB, needs 400 gold, disassemble Echo Saber, and we'll have it. Again, this didn't get devorded. Yuragi did ping it out, saying that there is a vision.
Yeah, he walks right under it again. This time, waddling back to his tier 2 with Seb's backup. A hasted Void Spirit, eyeing up an opportunity to jump. The moment he sees a hero, Jinkyu also here nearby, and a high ground ward sees every member of OG incoming.
Seb
Jinkyu
immediately dewards it.
Solo coil. They want this Earthshaker, snaps the coil on him. Jinkyu pretty tanky on the ES though. Will get jumped by the life break, but the enchant totem, and in comes Ryzen, just chipping away
way
at
too
OG.
deep right now.
They're trying to commit. The dispo's back. Chen thrown in, but the
Fisher on
3-man
4.
Fisher catches them with a shard as well, just holding back OG, stopping their advance forward.
Man, Jinkyu Earthshaker, that's definitely something else. Also, very good Remnant from Nothing to Say to be able to close Marcy, placed it on top of Jinkyu so that he knows if someone jumps in. Oh, Fisher!
Hello! Jinkyu's here again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's the power of Blink Dagger on Earthshaker, being able to jump in, instantly initiate, and also seeing Puck using phase shift. Very difficult for Puck. He's trying to go for Kaya Sange to have status resistance to lower the duration of those stuns, but PSG LGD, they're not gonna stop. They have BKB on CK right now and almost a full Echo Saber again, so...
And an 87% win probability as well. Looking incredibly strong with his 9-10k net worth lead. Next Roshan. If LGD get that, I really struggle to see a world in which OG are able to combat the LGD side just walking towards their base.
This looks so weird.
Double void.
Double Raid Band, double void.
Well, it's beautifully arranged, aesthetically pleasing Razor build as nothing to say, saved up by Jinkyu again. Like turning onto the Marcy here, Tiger just charging towards the Earthshaker. Wants to get a couple of spells off, and now he's trapped down in the river. Arme will take that up for himself, handed a kill on a silver platter, and after the Doom has expired, nothing to say, he's straight onto him. Yuragi trying to run it back, but he's being drained of his damage, killed by Faith Beyond.
Again, the same issue that OG has been facing. They dropped the Doom, but there is no real follow-up, and one Fisher just says, enough, you need to stop. Jinkyu's positioning has been amazing. He's been involved in, let me do the math real quickly, 17 out of 21 kills. He's all over the place. A lot of those assists, a lot of those Fishers are not assists that made a lot of difference.
Seb, 3-second stun, and Jinkyu not even needed. A straight up solo from Arme. Fisher will catch Amar. We'll follow through from the rest of LGD though. They are pretty wide across the map. Maybe OG can make something out of this. They've got 2 cores bottom. They see Jinkyu.
Jinkyu's level 15, same level as Huskar, same level as Puck.
Oh, what's the Doom at?
13 with Hand of Midas. Not looking good for OG.
Yeah, that's a difficult one for him. Look, he's below the Chen. Jinkyu, of course, you're having a very good game. His way towards that BKB next. There we go. BKB up on Arme. Mage Slayer grabbed as well. Blink Dagger next on the cards for him. And Roshan 10 seconds away. As LGD will be prepping themselves here, scouting with the Vool Assassin with his envenomed weapon inside
It's
the
a
pit.
good one. It's the one that reduces the healing, and the percentage is 75 region reduction.
It's like, oh, I pop my salve, I'll be fine farming this creep camper. No.
You get 100 HP from a healing salve.
Yeah.
If you use it on ally, then you get 50.
That's nasty. 50 HP for
50
salve.
HP for salve, yeah.
Well, LGD not content to sit back and hold their own high ground. They want to take enemy territory, and here we go again. Straight up with the Fisher, jump in for the Void Spirit and kill off Uragi. Gets the BKB out, but not the Doom. And with Huskar jumping on the Razor, well, he's just going to be lightning stormed down and rifted into Arme's open arms. Xinkyu getting another Fisher forward. Will be able to catch Seb, but with no vision there, we can't dive into the trees. But
BCM.
2 heroes down. It's Roshan time.
BZM try to go on Xinkyu, but there is way too much sustain. Why? With Holy Locket, Mech also ready to use Hand of God if necessary. Still, Fisher into Totem is more than enough, and Fate Beyond using Refresher for the first time, getting a double BKB, double Eye of the Storm. Very difficult for them to go in and take the fight. But this is going to be a freebie.
When the IO gets his Hand of Midas, you know, maybe we can look towards the future.
He
Think
did
about
have
that
that
late
queued
game.
up, but the game ended. Oh, Void Spirit.
Under a
Getting
sentry,
found.
coiled up, disposed snaps. Great pick off for OG. Still able to punch back. Arme, oh, he's in honor. The puck stunned up and cleared through. Ooh, 20 HP remaining. Can we jump away with the blink? We
He's
can.
trying.
There's the Essence Ring as well. Uragi can try and defend him too. Xinkyu makes the move
Fake.
forward, but 1v4
Fake
now.
jump.
Uragi, he wanted to doom the Earthshaker, disposed back,
Into
will open them
Echo.
up.
Can he get it up?
He can't! He's chain stunned out by OG.
I mean, it would look good Echo on paper, but there was no one around him. Ame was there, rest of the team not ready to jump in and help out.
Very close to killing off BZM in the midst of all that, though. He's like 25, 30 health remaining. But losing your Void Spirit and your Earthshaker now gives an opening for OG to push out across the map. That's Tiger, toys with Arme. I'm not sure if this is what you wanted to be playing with, though. It's a dangerous toy. Lots of moving parts and sharp objects there on the Chaos Knight.
Way too difficult to deal with this overfarmed CK going into Bloodthorn next after picking up that shard. He picked up the shard from Roshan and picking up the Blink Dagger.
Oh, they cancel the blink with the Plasma Field. This time the jump from Arme works out thanks to Faith Bian's arrival.
BZM getting caught multiple times.
And now we can prep ourselves for the push in from LGD. 3.5 minutes on the Aegis remain. Chen gonna recall his creeps across the map to keep the push going. While Amar and Seb trying to do what they can to get some land for themselves. But with a tier 1 mid and top still standing, it's so difficult for them. Being this far behind, having no access points to the enemy parts of the map.
LGD, they are ready to go for the high ground. CK does have that level 20 talent throughout the route, pierce the spell immunity, so he can still be able to reposition heroes and blow them up when a Phantasm is up.
And no buybacks outside of the Marcy for OG. Everybody very poor. No money for the buybacks. Tier 3 items are coming though for them. Amar farming enemy ancients, finding a pocket of farm, while Seb killed off by a Fisher and a move in from Nothing to Say's Void. How's OG's high ground defense?
Not as good as in the previous game. They had Shaker plus Coddle this time around. Puck will need to do some creep skipping, but definitely needs a defensive item for himself. He is going for Eon Disc, still needs a couple of minutes to farm it.
Amar, he's like cutting wave mid, farming ancients.
Amar being sneaky, look at him.
Why is Amar the finder? He's finding farm where no one else could. Is he the highest GPM on his team? No, the puck is ever so slightly ahead. 469.
He has higher GPM than Doom with Devour and Hand of Midas. That tells a lot about how bad of a game Doom has.
Radiant's courier has
How important was that lane swap, right? Because you mentioned at the start they put the Huskar against the Razor. It would have been worse for Doom if he had been against the Razor. Well, hang on a second, it's Tiger. Faith Bian's found him with a refresh up. He's got the Eye of the Storm out. He's got double BKB ready at his disposal as well. They've got the Doom on the Void Spirit though. Faith Bian trying to defend, and the Hurricane back pushes, nothing to say, away from danger. The Hand of God heals him, and in comes the rest. Arme with a double kill, clearing through OG. Tiger, no way of escaping. Penitence and the Rift on him, and GG is called. A 2-0 victory here for LGD, and quite a simple one at that.
OG understanding that they have no business left in this game. They were not able to kill one hero in the last fight, and also White didn't even use Nethermech North 20 charges on the Holy Locket. Just the lane setup, and also these couple of like rotations first time around, a couple of dooms that were not connecting. Jinkyu, masterclass performance on his Earthshaker.
Just exquisite stuff on that Earthshaker, really. I mean, the Chaos Knight last pick as well worked out wonderfully for LGD. I mean,
no real AoE to deal with CK. They needed to be able to get the Doom off.
Wala tayo magawa pagka ganun. 2-0. 2-0, malinis. Tingnan na natin yung iba pang game. Outsiders ang nanalo.
Dude, why did you... Listen, Tyler. You would have...
So, 2-0. Meanwhile, Navi at saka ano, natapatan nila to. Fanatic, all one. Ayan, tapos na yung mga ano ito, hindi pa. Kasi matagal yung ano nila. Last game ngayon. Hindi pa tayo dito. Sa game number 2 nila Ramses. Alam ko, peaking pa nga lang to eh.
I don't know if that's even going to matter if Blasphemy hits and Makoto, he at least gets something out of this lane.
Ano to, talo?
Yeah. It's not the Batrider, but to get the kill into the Marcy, that feels decent. 23 Savage at the same time, like his lane's very open too, right? Like, who's benefiting the most out of the way these lanes have gone?
GG pre, GG. Tingnan natin yung talo game
honestly,
number 2.
Like, Razor and Bristleback are going to destroy TA in the mid lane game. So the only real chance Outsiders has to snowball is through getting the Desolator really early. So I would say that Outsiders is capitalizing very well on their winning condition. So yeah, he's already into the Vanguard on Bristleback, so he should be pretty much unkillable unless Batrider decides to show up. How's Viper looking? I mean, he's not looking great, but at least he has more net worth than Beastmaster still.
This would have maybe spiraled out of more control for Outsiders. I'm a little surprised it didn't.
Yeah, they disengaged very quickly from the top lane. And they could have been a feed fest up there, but they made good. They stopped the bleeding. Made a good job.
$1K lead, back to that 1K lead. So Makoto coming up out of the high ground. Zephyr is here. He's got an avalanche to throw and doesn't have a toss, but KP over to the side, so they might be able to track down this Dazzle and should be able to get a kill on him pretty easily.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Mid lane again, Makoto in some trouble. They've got the lasso, they'll chase him out. Fortune's in, trying to save him, and Makoto now on the run.
That's why Oracle is so strong. It's like one of the easiest disengage heroes against Batrider. Now Lasso's on a very long cooldown, so Bristleback feels even more safe. And it's the perfect beginning for that Bristleback. And we've seen so many times what a Bristleback can do in the late game.
Zephyr probably don't want to be there, but he'll go to the TP attempt, and the damage is there with it exposed, so he tries to TP in their face, he'll pay for it, and now it's time for Ramses to take these stacks.
Yeah, they're not letting him do anything to the stacks. He scouted them, they're all there, 3 heroes again. At least it gives some space for KP though.
Yeah, I guess KP's kind of recovering a little bit.
Again, just look at Beastmaster, he's really poor. And generally Beastmaster is quite reliant on having a decent early game. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how he recovers from this.
Still though, even with Beastmaster doing so poorly, like they're up 2K, and and that's because look at where the Marcy's net worth is. Look at how much gold YAMH has. He's got the same amount of gold as his Beastmaster. Pretty insane what he's been able to accomplish, at least at the moment.
Yeah, if you get the fast blink dagger, that could be very beneficial for outsiders as well. Haste from Bad Weather almost travels as well. Like, the best answer they have to the Bristleback is going to be that Bad Weather. So we'll see when he tries to make a rotation towards him. The fish should be pretty easy kill. The raw plus the lasso.
And that's really all you need to kill just about anybody, right? Unless they have the Oracle ready to go, but Oracle's only level 4. Still pre-10 minutes, not expecting all supports to be at level 6 yet, or any supports to be at level 6 yet, so there is some time.
Yeah, so Badger has smoked up. Was actually looking for the Bristleback. He is still looking for the Bristleback, but there's no way he can really do anything down there.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Easy
under
TP.
attack.
Hell.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, if Oracle is ready, they really should never get a kill with Bad Weather. Like, they might try on the bottom, but I think it's gonna be futile.
He's got a TP ready to go. That being said, Zephyr low, shallow grave, not going to keep Hakoda alive. Eventually,
they're going to Bristle.
He'll go down.
Where's the Oracle
now they've got Bristle. They're trying to chase. They'll have the Primal Roar. They're burning him out. And Fortune's End, not enough.
Too late.
He doesn't have a False Promise to use, and now he's probably given up his life too. They've got the help of YAMH, and eventually, well, he should have a dispose if need be. And it's a double kill for GPK.
Very well played. Nice rotation. Perhaps a little bit slow by Hyde. Like that, he wasn't there immediately. He also DP'd in a very defensive position. I feel if he DP'd max range towards the Bristleback, would have been an easy save. But weren't ready for that because we were aggressing somewhere else at the same time. Unfortunate timing.
Blessings. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Maybe the tower top.
Yeah, he's recovering quite nicely on the Viper.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They don't have Lasso this time or the Primal Roar, so 23 Savage, how comfortable is he going to feel? They've got the Dispose. They're looking for Hyde. Hyde, he's going to try and heal himself back up, and a False Promise himself. They got the kill on Hakoda as well as DM. The damage was there for 23 Savage, and now he'll look at YAMH, the right click. Well, it does a lot, but he is out and away. GPK, he'll just walk away, fly away.
Yeah, and KP didn't come, so he has been focusing on farming, same as the TA. Nice exchange for Talon this time around. He's getting into his axe pretty quickly. They have a lasso again, they're looking for lasso.
Yeah, they've got him once more with the lasso. They don't have False Promise, but they do have the Oracle, so False Promise isn't like the end-all be-all. He can help out in other ways, and that's what Hyde's been doing.
Yeah. Just the Fortune's End is most of the time enough to save against the Bristleback. KP. That was close. It was about to get grabbed.
Dear support arrives.
So, do you think Talon's done a good job here of just kind of like stopping the bleeding and kind of actually giving themselves a potential advantage?
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
they're definitely doing very well. Razor's looking for another
Dire
kill.
are scanning.
Once this Bristleback is up, they are going to be insanely strong. He actually went for a Sange instead for first item. Very interesting. Usually you want to get this axe timing up as soon as possible. Just wants to feel a little bit tanky against the Roar, against the Lasso. Makes sense, not bad. But it delays the strong time by quite a bit.
Under attack.
So, right now, just throwing some viscous nasal glue at some boars. Makoto, he's just about, he's 1,400 gold away from his BKP though. He's in trouble. He's been disposed and he'll be killed. Ramses gets credit for that one as they had 3 heroes up in the top lane. And starting to get some charges on that Deso that he's picked up. He's up by 2, so he's going into the Blink Dagger, and he still leads this Bristle by about 700 gold. And TA overall just has not really felt pressured much throughout the entirety of the game.
Did you also see the pre-tip? Before they even went on the Viper, they tipped them already.
The way that they were coming.
Nice roll on the Oracle. Does he have enough damage?
False Promise. Fortune's End, charging it up.
Oh my god, it's a lot of damage he's doing.
And now it's TP. Oh,
still
wow.
died.
Yeah, still died. Should have just TP'd out initially as KP chases GPK and forces him to TP out.
What's the BKB template look like for RYZEN? About 16 minutes?
Yeah.
And once he has that, he should feel very confident in his fights. But without Bristleback, there won't be enough damage. And the glaring lack of stunts, I think, is gonna come back to bite him relatively shortly. There's so many repositioning tools for outsiders, and if you have no initiation, no stunts, that means Dazzle will always get a great DD from Roach Pit. Of course.
Even sense this? Do they go over that way? Let's see.
They're kinda around, but
not going for it.
Not going for it.
This is something that Outsiders has done really well throughout the entire series, and that's secure Roche.
Yeah, TA now is very strong, especially with the Beastmaster.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
So up 3k, an Aegis in their hands. Maybe they go again for the Bristleback once they've got the Primal Roar and the Lasso up, which is in 30 seconds to have both. It's 30 seconds for the Lasso, and Primal Roar is up now. No mana for it, though, for DM.
Yeah, just look at the gold difference now between the TA and the Bristol.
It's starting to really expand, yep.
If Bristol gets lassoed and TA attacks it from the front, Savage is going to die really fast. They need to protect him at all costs.
Middle tower is under attack.
He needs like an armor item first. But that's the problem, like he needs Axe first, and then BKB, and then a plate mail, then he's gonna feel really strong. That's
right.
Like 15 minutes from now.
So let's see where it goes, because at the moment I think Outsiders' game plan is going off without a hitch. They have just completely farmed the map. Beastmaster maybe not at the top of the net worth at the moment, but it's certainly in a spot where he feels comfortable going now. And of course getting that Helm of the Overlord. Batrider going into the BKB, and when you've got the boots to travel BKB, GPK can kind of be there and feel comfortable fighting at all times.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
What's the plan for Talon is really my question here, because they don't have the best tower damage, and they're sort of just letting Outsiders farm the entire map. But again, how do you punish it even? You have one tiny stun. He finally has a blink, but...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, catch the F.
Maybe they get this kill, but no. TP, and there it is. Hide. Deals one away. Meanwhile, Zephyr, he got a little bit low.
Looking for KP.
Dire's middle
it's a lot of
damage. Going into the Viper. Look at the damage come out with the Death Zone splashing over to 23 Savage, but with the help of Hyde again, they'll get themselves something out of it. It's a double kill for the Oracle, who goes from the Beastmaster over to this Marcy. And Ramses, you can see the Death Zone damage coming out, and well, KP not able to stand his ground on that one, and Ramses comes over again, almost killing off this Oracle. Oh, and still Death Zone.
Yeah.
I saw that ending from miles away.
Absolutely playing him over here in the top lane.
GPK has the eye set on 23. Can you find him with a sticky? No.
200 gold away from the Axe, by the way. And toss up onto the Dazzle. Hakoda goes down, and 23 Savage gets that kill. So that'll give him the gold necessary to finish off the Ags. And once he's got this Ags, we'll see if Talon finally feel confident. It's something they've kind of lacked in this whole series together, right?
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, it's some outsiders now though to like crank up the pressure a bit because they have a decently big lead.
Ooh, they found 23 Savage. Yeah, he went into the triangle, the flame break, into the dispose. They have the primal roar. They don't even need the lasso, and he just got his Zags, and he'll die just as quickly as it gets delivered.
I don't like to reiterate on points like these, but how often have we seen one of the heroes just get picked off on the enemy side of the jungle, like in every game? Probably 4 or 5 times in every game that we casted so far.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Nice
attack.
big dodge by Zephyr as well. Like, it's really something they need to fix if they want to go far into this tournament. If they lose this game, they're 1-5. They don't have much more left for error.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
But GPK?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Uses that BKB, even turns around because on the other side they've got Gavage on the right click. Zephyr's going to be taken out by Ramses, who's got himself a mega kill streak. He's 5-0-1. And it doesn't feel like the TA is really looking to stop. Even going behind the tier 2 tower and throwing the meld over onto KP, splashing onto Hive. Flame breaks there. Ramsey's blinking in, and he's forced to use the false promise. So he'll survive, but the rest of his team is going to be in a lot of trouble. They get the gun to KP. They'll look over Ramsey surviving it all. He also has the agent. There's the shallow grave. They'll take out Hyde. And now 23 Savage. GPK goes down. Ultra kill is there for Ramsey. Give him a rampage at just 19 minutes into the game. And he'll finally lose that Aegis.
A double rampage maybe? Hide on the run? Oh. Can he hide from Ramses the Predator?
No, he cannot. But it's Yamich who gets the kill.
Oh, that's BM. Like, if I was Ramses right now, I would leave the game. GG. Like, you don't respect my contribution? Get out of here.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower.
He isn't even going weak, he's just going raw damage. Look at that.
Yeah, Daedalus next. He is going off, and all of a sudden, that Deso has 20 charges on it.
Yeah, let's
take another look at this one after this kill. As Zephyr, well, he's gonna fall to these 3 heroes, and you're talking about the shard, Dazzle, Arcane Boots, straight shard, and that's what he's got. So.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the replay on that last fight where Ramsey's just all confidence going behind the tier 2 tower, 23 Savage TPing in, and you can see Hyde uses the false promise, but he's going to die here anyway, and now that means it can't be used on KP, it's used on himself.
Look at the last damage on 23.
Yeah. He still gets GPK, but look at Ramsey, he's able to stand his ground thanks to the shallow grave, and then Makoto, BKB, doesn't matter. He actually got the rampage as he died.
Probably the earliest rampage we've seen this tournament. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't doubt it.
I'm just spitballing.
BKB from Makoto. He's got the rebound, so it doesn't really matter. And they'll turn it around with the Primal War. They've got the Meld Strikes coming out once again. Ramsey's starting to back off, but it's got a double damage. Now the lasso comes in to hide. They'll take out the Oracle, and they're still looking to get the right clicks in. Ooh, that hit the Wild Wing and hit 23 as well, so he took a lot of damage from that right click from Ramses with a double damage on him, and they're gonna blink forward, get the dispose. There's the shallow grave. Zephyr gets broken apart with the flame ring, pushing back AB. They're inside the base and they do not care. Ramses backs up to the tier 3 for a moment, but they are burning KP away. This Viper can't survive. Fire beats Toxic, and TM gets the kill there. DPK, shallow grave, and TP out right in the base.
Wow. Like, you have no stuns on any hero other than Tiny. Tiny's dead, you cannot fight. Can't do anything. Savage is looking for the ancient creep at least, if he can maybe get it. Yeah, that would be a nice pick for him. Nice goal.
It takes so long.
What gets it?
250 gold.
Both get gold now, out of nowhere. Did he lose the Daedalus on the courier? I think he might have.
Scanning.
Certainly possible. Dead for 50 seconds.
Oh, he went for a Shadow Blade actually.
Maybe it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he just went for a Silver Edge rather.
Just straight Silver Edge instead. Okay. Sure. Shallow grave, damage alive, rebounds away. Primal Roar is used. They get the kill in the high. They'll take out the Oracle. Now they're going to look for the rest. BKB's been popped by Makoto, but Ramsey's is in. And Savage is going to be left alone. There's nothing that Makoto or Zephyr can do to save this Bristleback. And they're going to continue on forward. Look for the Tiny. He is so dead. As GPK gets another 3-0 out of the side of Talon. And Ramsey's blinking forward, maybe looking for Makoto, but he's already all the way back at base.
He's still looking. The Viper getting that 2-shot. He has to be so careful. Ow. Ow. Ow.
AP.
Ow.
Ow. Yeah. Ow for sure. I mean, just one by one by one. Ramses is now 13-0-4.
Yeah, they also have sidekick for Ramses, so every time he hits someone, he just heals for like 500 health.
Radiant's middle tower.
And again, like he doesn't go BKB. Why, Mika? Because they have no stuns.
Because he doesn't care, and he can kill anybody.
This draft they have come up with this time around, it's... I don't like to use this word, but it's like an abomination draft. And this should not be allowed in Dota. I would say the only team that could maybe get away with this is the LGD.
23 Savage?
Hey.
Alright, False Promise is in, but the Primal Roar comes out. They've got the last shot to follow that one up. The damage coming in, he's dead.
23 dead.
False Promises are meant to be broken, and they will get the kill on a 23 Savage to look for more. Makoto on the run, the axe is flying in, the dispose is there to KP with BKB popped by Makoto. They will get themselves a third, they'll look for a fourth. It's a triple kill for Ramses once again. Can he get another rampage? He might. GG is called, and the rampage is secured. Another rampage. Not a double, not a triple. It's two separate rampages and a 2-0 for Outsiders over Town.
Yeah, that game looked very convincing. Way to one side, but I gotta say, it was mostly draft of Talon. Like, the draft was not very cohesive at all. It didn't really have any timings that were overlapping or anything. It went well.
Tingnan natin schedule natin for today's video. Teamspirit, EG, Entity, Thunder Awaken. EG, 0-4 to EG. Medyo kangkong dito, sir. Medyo kangkungan tayo dito. Medyo eguls tayo dun, no? Medyo kenkong tayo sa laban na game number 2 ng Talon. Ay. Ayawan ko ba? One zero. La 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 la. Wala. Eagles live ngayon meron tayong bigay 5 ko. Talon 23 lang. Ngayon pa lang naglalaro to. Team Master kanina. Medyo mababa tayo dito. Tapos, may laro pa yata sila ulit mamaya. Dahil lang, schedule. May laro pa ulit yung Talon mamaya. Tsaka isa pang Team Spirit tsaka Team Master. Okay, maganda bigayan. All goods. Thunder Awaken 1-3, no? Soniqs. Ito yung ano? Quincy Crew. Si Queen. Ito nga yung Quincy Crew dati, QC. May sponsor na sila. Medyo di ko na ano yun yung ano na yun. Kailangan tumawin ng Tundra ngayon eh. Di ko na siguro ano yun. I-stream yan. Pero may laro pa mamaya, Fanatic, LGD. Medyo ano ang talent pagka ano? Tawag na ito.
Herndon announcement. I am in the ball game.
And that was a half-court shot by Kid.
Robbie Herndon announcement. I am in the ball game.
And that was a half-court.
Let's go, boys. Kailan natin siguro ano yun, pero ngayon may maglaro tayo. Rank games naman tayo, rank games. Kaya wala naman na nanonood sa atin, so... Fine match tayo, Fine match tayo, pare. Wala na ba? Wala na. Sige. In-stream tayo dito.